TGT. What the world is watching.
I'm so excited. I'm back. I'm in a new position. That's what she said. So this past Monday night, I think everyone knows what happens. Everyone knows what I'm getting at. So I just wanted to make sure RJ from Ringside Rant lived up to his side of the bet, which he did on his show. And I'm going to air what he said to everybody right now on my show.
Frank, this is for you, buddy. Dear Ranters Nation, I have an urgent statement to make to the Bills Mafia. Something I've had to say for over 21 years. In January of 2000, the Music City Miracle occurred. I need to finally admit that it was in fact a legal play. It was a beautiful backwards pass by the greatest tight end in the league, Frank Wycheck. The pass was then caught by Kevin Dyson, a return for a score that sealed the fate of my Bills and led them to decades of mediocrity. Once again, this past Monday, the Tennessee Titans proved once more why they will always be our daddy. Today, I bow down and implore you all to tighten up.
I loved hearing that. It made my day. So tonight we've got some special guests. We've got some AFS friggin' All-Stars with us. And we are going to be watching In Your House Buried Alive from October 20th, 1996, which we celebrated a 25th anniversary of that show 3 days ago. Hence why we're doing it now. So as I like to say, I've got a special open for Henry. I got a special open for Antonio. So on that note, away we go.
Here's Derrick Henry trying to get the big guy going, and he's going. And when I say going, he might go all the way. Nobody's going to catch him. Derrick Henry, touchdown. 76 yards. There are no flags. Fourth and one. Allen leans forward, and I don't think he got there. Josh Allen looked like he slipped down. Naquan Jones stuffed the hole, Josh Allen. And it's Titans football. And maybe the game.
Yeah, I know that was a Carl-esque long video, but I just had to do it. And if it looked, let's say, what's the term I'm trying to say? It looked mediocre. It's because I made it, so that's why it looked mediocre. But I'm done now. I said what I had to say. RJ paid his end of the bargain, so let's welcome everybody. We've got Pauly Big Time and Miss Yaffe. AFS All-Stars here with us tonight to enjoy this incredible monumental moment of 25 years since this incredible show. So let's start with Lauren. How the hell are you?
Hi. Well, before Antonio has the chance to do it, I'm going to make a dirty joke about stuffing holes. Nice to see you here, Pauly B.
It's nice to be seen, and I gotta ask, can we kick this show off talking about Ringside Rant, first of all? Ugh. Secondly, he says Ranters Nation. By definition, nation says a large body of people united by common descent, history, culture, or language inhabiting a particular country or territory. The key word is large, and I'm sorry, there's no way in hell that guy has a large audience.
I love you so much right
Ranters
now,
Nation and flush it down the toilet.
Wow.
Since Paul touched on, I'd like to note two things for the record before we continue. RJ, you're a jackass for taking the Bill Shout song and putting it behind that diatribe, whatever the fuck it was. Two,
you know he can't hear you, right?
I don't give a fuck if he can't hear me.
He'll hear it.
But this makes me feel better. And two, and most importantly, Frank, would you mind telling us the score of the Super Bowl that year? In 1999, when you went and played what are now the Los Angeles Rams in Super Bowl 33, 34,
34. I believe the final was 23-16 Rams.
And I believe the same person, it was part of that big Music City Miracle play, failed to stretch his arm out just far enough to take that game into overtime.
He was tackled by his knees at the 2, so I don't think anyone's that tall. But
I mean,
your team
in
also
fairness,
lost
he was playing in the Super Bowl.
We're going to talk about
sitting
Super Bowl failures. You want to talk about the 4 Super Bowls the Bills went to and choked?
All right. I don't want to anger anyone tonight.
Here we go, kids.
I mean, we could also talk about the fact that Tom Brady cheated to get to a Super Bowl.
Okay. All right. So let's steer this back to the right direction. Let's go around the room real quick, and then we're going to start this show because I know Pauly over there is the podcast king taking over for Conrad. So he is a busy, busy man. And the fact that we got him tonight, you have no idea what my pocketbook had to do. Top football.
Oh, please.
Oh, God. So, Phil, how are you? You have a new dog?
Well, let's. I've got 2 important things to address, and neither one of them have anything to do with me. So let's just get these out right off the gate here. Number 1, Frank.
What?
Last night, during the awesome ad-free shows Renee Paquette Zone, did you publicly admit that you enjoy the movie White Chicks?
Oh my God! I love that. That movie is so funny to me. My favorite part is when she's like, or when he's like, "What a beautiful chocolate man!" I love that movie. Of course. God.
Yeah, that's a good movie.
We have to reevaluate our friendship.
All right. Well, we'll do that, but not right now. Not right now. But yes, I do love the White Chicks. In fact, it's on my Vudu right now, and I'll go to bed watching it tonight.
Wow. And number 2, Pauly, all I gotta say is this is you in a nutshell on today's 83 weeks. That's it. Summed up in one little video. There's Pauly in 83 weeks, just burning the hell out of Dave Meltzer.
Oh.
That got me today. Other than that, I'm good.
It hurts.
Get out of my system.
All right.
Truth hurts. Brandy, my dear, how are you?
Okay.
A little bit.
She's on
a little bit delayed. I see you're wearing some purple for the fact that the Undertaker was purple in this era.
Yes,
and very
my
pale.
internet's being weird. The satellite from Russia has to be out of place again or something.
All right. Well, let's get the satellite back where it needs to be, and we'll go over to Antonio, Henry number 2, who come to us live from his Wacket Shack.
Yeah.
There's no doubt about it, man. Don't turn on the black light in that room, kids. That guy's spray painting the walls. Look at him.
It's actually clean right now.
Okay, good.
Oh, right now, yeah.
Yeah, between that and the poop platter you
say
had
I'm
today.
Pauly's #1 fan right now after what he just did.
Oh, you like that? You like what? The Ranters Nation deal?
Yeah. Yes.
Oh
All right,
man.
I'm not gonna. I'll keep my comments to myself.
Do you guys see? By the way, I'm wearing the Top Guy Theater T-shirt.
Yes.
I was so excited when I saw you bought that. I'm like, oh my god, that's.
And the
amazing.
first time I recorded 83 weeks on video for all 3,000 some people, I tried to wear the shirt. So.
Yeah, somebody pointed that out the other day. I was like, holy shit, you
that was me. Thank you. You're welcome.
Well, it was like 5 months later or something.
I'm 3 months behind.
I saw one comment about it after I wore it on Twitter, and it was something from Antonio about he couldn't believe how I squeezed into this shirt or something.
Oh my god!
So I was like, "Fuck you! I'm never wearing this again."
Oh man!
But here we are.
So all right. So Henry, buddy, you took a lumping from me this week. I know that you probably hate me, and that's fine. But I'm still curious as to how you're doing.
First of all, Frank, I could never hate you. If I have heat with any person in this room right now, it's that bald-headed sumbitch that, as I look at my screen right here, sits top middle. But I'll tell you what I really want, and that's to dive into the pay-per-view now that you've had your fun. Can we move on to In Your House Buried Alive, Frank?
Absolutely. Let me ask James Coelho how he's doing.
I'm fantastic. Thank you for having me.
All right. So everyone, we're gonna go to the cock, as we say. It is under WWE In Your House. It is season 2, episode 6. It is the famous Buried Alive. When everyone's there at all zeros, let me know, and we will hit the countdown. Actually, you know what? While everyone's getting that ready, I did find a little bit of a gem today that I wanted to share with everybody, real quick.
Ooh, chills.
So let's. I'm assuming we're all ready at this point.
Yeah.
All right. So we're gonna do a 3, 2, 1, play.
Can I get a time code?
Get the fuck out of here! You're killing me. Oh, might as well track
4,
it.
5.
I feel like I'm recording with JR.
Oh, thoughts going out to JR after like weather today.
Absolutely.
What happened?
It was funny. We were recording one time. We were doing a watch along, and he was like, well, "That damn Paul, I got a commercial going on." I was like, "What are we doing? How do we not have JR the username and password for the AFS Peacock account?" He's like sitting here on there's ads flowing in and out of his Peacock subscription. Come on.
Wait, I'm confused as to why JR, if he's subscribed to Peacock, doesn't actually have the full-on $10 a month.
That's what I'm saying. Don't worry, he's set up now because it only took one more podcast with him and Conrad and him to yell that out for that to get fixed.
We get to see a little red ass JR on this show. I was previewing it this morning.
Yeah, he's a little pissy. This is when he's like, this is like the heel turn JR going on here.
Fake Razor, fake Kane, or whatever it was, Kane, or fake Razor, fake Diesel, and he's
Sony PlayStation.
I know. PlayStation 1.
Yeah.
We're at what, 5 now?
That is correct. Which you can't get anywhere.
This show takes place in one of the world's worst cities, that is being Indianapolis. Fuck the Colts. And
hey. That's part of my segment. You back off.
Oh shit! Hey, we got Red Ass Henry tonight. Let me tell you, I was expecting Red Ass Henry, given how I treated him Monday night.
He's not even smirking, man. He's dead serious.
I was calm through all of that until you tried to steal my gimmick, man. That's not cool.
We can't get Henry to smile. Swoggle couldn't do it. Eric Bischoff can't do it.
Eric Bischoff called me a liar. Had he not called me a liar, I probably would have smiled for Eric Bischoff.
What did you lie to Eric about?
Yeah, we need the dirt.
Listen, Red Ass JR doesn't even have a microphone.
Somebody remind me. We'll come back to that.
Oh, I'm not forgetting.
Yeah, he got pissed off, James, and Vince handed him his microphone, the one he had.
Heel Henry strikes again.
Yeah, we're really interested in the Henry character here.
Oh yeah, heel Henry. Like
yeah.
He starts off
that's
quiet.
right. I've never actually done a show with Paul before.
He's a nice guy. Everybody's happy. No, he's a fucking heel, dude. You gotta watch out for him.
Last time I was with Henry, he was pinpointing people on maps and stuff, and now he's coming in like fire.
No, now he knows where everybody lives, so now he knows where to send the bombs.
Right.
Hey, who is that? Oh my God! Called in the ring.
Jesus Christ.
Anybody got any info on the blonde that scored at Hunter Hearst Helmsley?
I don't remember her.
Okay, crap.
She looks terrified.
Well, Google the internet, damn it.
Antonio, this is completely your area of expertise.
Yeah,
Who's
Antonio,
won?
you cover all this, don't you? The girl side of it.
Well, she's not showing anything.
She was in Playboy in July of 1996, August.
Wait, Paulie, I know why he doesn't know. It's not Roseanne Barr.
Oh, yeah.
Oh! That's Kyoto's woman. Stay away from Roseanne.
See, I was not
The reason why she's not really showing anything is because she's coming out with the Hunter Hearst Helmsley version of Triple H, who's refined and sophisticated, just like Jean-Paul Levesque, which I think Vince ripped off from WCW.
She kind of looks like Lizzie Borden from XPW.
Oh my God! We just
Any
watched
fans
that
of
episode
XPW
today.
here or watch the Dark Side of the Ring?
Yeah, I watched it.
I watched it.
Does anybody know anything about XPW? Because
I'm knowing November 7th.
You're coming back
to Rochester.
Because I just found out tomorrow I was asked to interview Rob Black.
Ooh.
At 2:00, and I have no notes.
You're interviewing him?
Yes.
Hey, can we track this Stone Cold interview?
Yeah. Sorry, guys. I'll shut up.
Hang on. No, don't shut up. Oh, shit. I hit the pause button.
God, Frank.
What?
Because if it's not, then Stone Cold will retire him, and that's the bottom line. As far as anyone having a problem all of a sudden with the language that Stone Cold is using, well, they can just kiss my ass. All right, I think we have had enough of that.
Well, that's because I'm a dumbass and I hit pause before I hit the volume button. So let's go back to this Rob Black thing. When is that?
So, Brandy, do you know XPW at all or any history
I
of
know
it?
a little bit.
I'm looking for some bullet points of what I could ask him because I haven't watched the Dark Side of the Ring yet.
So I would ask him if he really did have the Messiah's thumb cut off.
Yeah, that's the first.
Yeah, that's the number one.
That was the one thing is there was a wrestler who had a falling out with him.
The Messiah.
Because allegedly this wrestler was fucking Lizzie Borden, which was
Not allegedly. He admitted it on Dark Side of the Ring.
You know, I don't mean to cut
Okay,
you
so
off, Brandy,
he
but
did.
just a second ago, Stone Cold was doing like this talking thing with this fan that looked just like Frank Bruno, dressed up like the Heartbreak Kid, Shawn Michaels.
Thank you.
That's
And
after
nobody
Frank
else saw
took
it.
the 2-year-old kid out.
I
of the way
know. I
to
saw
talk
it
to that.
earlier, and this little girl actually told him to shut the fuck up. You can read it. Yeah, I think this Black interview was going to be very interesting, Paulie. But watch the Dark Side of the Ring.
Yeah,
first.
I have to finish watching it.
Yeah, it's the Dark Side of the Ring was good.
Okay.
So in looking up this blonde woman, they don't name her in the show either, and the whole thing was, and I forgot all about this. Mr. Perfect was talking to all of Triple H's valets and taking them home before the match was over. Like taking the valet back with him to the back. I don't know. So that's why it's just another random valet.
And by the way, this was originally supposed to be Stone Cold versus Savio Vega.
Yep.
But Savio was injured, right?
Correct.
I heard I was going to be a part of this show, and I thought I better do a little homework.
I did none.
You just dug up old notes from another show. Don't lie.
Yeah, so with
I did not.
So with XPW coming back, I might be tempted to go when they come here November 7th.
Wait, what?
They're bringing back XPW. The show is November 7th at the Main Street Armory.
Jesus.
That
Speaking of go ahead.
At the Main Street Armory. That's awesome.
This is the first time, though, by the way, guys, that they ever used the Glass Shattered music for Stone Cold.
Really?
Was it?
Yeah.
Okay, so I didn't know that.
Speaking of obscure wrestling, real quick, Saturdays are my day at work to catch up on all podcast AFS. And Paulie, I heard you talking earlier today. I know it wasn't actually today, but you haven't seen Heels yet.
No, we have not. No, me and Kyoto were talking about that. I have not seen that show.
So let me give you this. This might be a little incentive to get you to watch Heels. This is how deep it goes so far as the show and wrestling lore. I'm going to read you the names of some of the episodes.
Okay.
And this might sound like episode names. The first name of the first episode is Kayfabe. Then there's Dusty Finish, Cheap Heat, Cutting Promos, Swerve, House Show, Double Turn.
Wow.
It's a really good show.
It's really catered. Yeah. Wow.
Yeah, it's fantastic. You know, CM Punk's got an episode he's in there, and you know they've got him all painted up so you can't see his tattoos, and it's weird as hell. But it's Stephen Amell does a fantastic job on that show.
Okay. I got to check to see if I have stars. Well, if I have stars.
Perk of my job is I get every channel ever for free, so I just watch anything. But I don't have time to watch
you can watch the National Geographic from foreign countries with the like news from China and Russia.
Yeah, pretty much.
It also means that he can watch all the porn he wants.
James, I'm right there with you, buddy.
I watch.
Right,
Yeah,
like,
I watch National.
It's all the channels. So like,
so Antonio wants to move in with Phil.
Antonio suddenly is going to come over. I need to see Penthouse live. Come on.
If it's on Spectrum's channel lineup, I have it.
Wow, a quick Google search will tell us what that's all about.
Yep, he's been watching. He's watching the booby channels. So we need to go over to Henry's Map It. So let's get that queued up. You ready for it, Henry?
Go ahead, hit me with it, Frank.
He was born ready.
Yo ho ho!
Hey!
Blow me down!
Na 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 na.
332 Kitty Hawk, USS Kitty Hawk. This is Namcom State Dr. Roger, over.
This edition of In Your House Buried Alive, comes to us from the Market Square Arena in fabulous Indianapolis, Indiana. This show, we've hit the week of the 25th anniversary of it, actually, which is why I suggested it to Frank and Phil. This show is held on October the 20th, 1996. Drew a crowd, according to the Wrestling Observer newsletter, by the way, fuck Dave Meltzer, of 9,649 people, of which 8,238 paid a gate of $135,605, which was the biggest wrestling crowd and gate in that market since WrestleMania 8 in 1992, which was held at the Hoosier Dome, or whatever the hell they called it in 1992. I don't even remember anymore. And if you can't draw a big gate in a place that seats 70,000 people, you're doing something very wrong. Indianapolis is home to two Major League professional franchises, one of which I will come back to in just a second because it's the crux of the end of my bit here today. One of them being the Indiana Pacers. Indianapolis is also renowned for the Indianapolis Motor Speedway, which is home to the annual 500-mile sweepstakes, better known today as the Indianapolis 500. This building actually has a lot of music and wrestling history, too. Elvis Presley's last live concert was held at the Market Square Arena on June 26, 1977. Andre the Giant would win his first and only World Wrestling Federation Championship in this building on February the 5th, 1988, in the infamous episode of the Main Event that would lead to WrestleMania 4's 14-man tournament to crown an undisputed World Wrestling Federation champion, I think for the first time. And to finish this out today, Frank, because I figured you were going to have a little fun with Antonio and I did a little quick history. The Indianapolis Colts have been the Indianapolis Colts since 1984. They began their life as an expansion team of the National Football League in the beautiful city of Baltimore back in the 50s and have one Super Bowl ring, which they got back in 2008 with Peyton Manning. I think I have my year right. I know Peyton Manning went to 2 Super Bowls. I don't remember what year he won it. By comparison, the Tennessee Titans, who began their lives as the Houston Oilers in 1960, last counted a championship not in Nashville, not in Memphis, but way back here. Where the hell is it on the map? In Houston, Texas, when they last won the 1961 AFL championship game.
All right, it's fine. It's all good. Who did we just lose? Phil?
Phil.
Phil. We lost Phil as soon as we start talking about football.
I was going to say, Justin's here, and I think he's awake again. Yeah, I mean, right. I mean, I don't know what to say because you're right, right? I mean, we can't all be a Steelers fan like Pauly, but hey, on December 19th, there will be some more trash talking coming his way.
Steelers.
Hey, Lauren, you have a voice box, don't you?
She has a nice set of lungs, that's for sure.
Oh my lord.
I mean, it relates to voice and talking. Okay, go ahead, Lauren.
Are we talking about boobs?
Oh,
right to the boobs.
Like boobs, like Tony Schiavone says, boobs.
Boobs.
No, Antonio, you want channel 935 on Phil's cable box? That's what you want.
I'm not paying for that.
I actually forgot something.
I said on Phil's cable box. He's not paying for it either.
Yeah,
right. I actually forgot something. It's
hold on. Let's back to
I left something out, and I want to go back and add it now. When Michael Jordan first made his comeback from retirement, he did it in this very same building on March 19th, 1995, in a game against the Indianapolis Pacers.
That's right.
Which was, according to what I'm reading here, Pacers defeated the Bulls in overtime in what was the most watched NBA game on television in 20 years.
Huh.
And
Wouldn't have
Eddie
figured
had
that for Indianapolis, but
Eddie had the balls to say that Michael Jordan was overrated at Top Guy Weekend.
In Chicago.
In Chicago.
I did talk to him about that.
Oh yeah, he was clearly just trying.
He admitted he was just trying to bring the heat.
And you know what? I actually talked with Frank about this a little while ago, and this is in no way any kind of brag, so please don't take it as that. But he didn't start doing his heel shtick until after our Hulk Hogan turn episode, where I cut a heel promo on everyone in the show.
So Phil set the example.
Yeah, and so he saw that. He talked about it, and then he started doing it. You see, but I just did it for a bit. He turned it into his life.
Yeah, no humble brag there at all.
Yeah, not at all.
Not at all.
Hulk Hogan has hair.
Right. Phil, once again, the trendsetter.
That's right.
That's
right.
Super humble pie right there.
And Henry, you did mention Baltimore, and you said the beautiful city of Baltimore. And there's only one thing that's beautiful in Baltimore, and that's all I'm going to say.
I don't particularly think Lamar Jackson is that beautiful.
I think I got
Frank,
that.
if that makes you happy, I love you. I
speaking
do.
Speaking
There's
of
beautiful
trendsetter,
cupcakes.
You know
I've
what,
seen
Henry?
beautiful
I'm not
cupcakes
gonna.
made in Baltimore.
Henry,
There you go,
I'm
Paul.
not
You get it
gonna.
now.
I'm
I'm
not
with
gonna
you.
say anything about it because at least he is getting cupcakes, and what are you getting?
Wow. Hey, speaking of trendsetters,
Shots fired.
Speaking of trendsetters, guys.
Hold on, Phil.
That's terrible.
Oh, go ahead.
That's just terrible. Listen, I thought you were finally happy that the heat was off of you.
Whatever. I'm so used to it at this point.
Kenny
Lauren,
Omega
what
is
are we
not on the
drinking
show.
tonight?
Kenny Omega's not even thought of here. Okay, he's still like 14 or 12.
He's
probably the kid that tried to argue with Austin.
Wait, what year? This is what, 96?
1996.
So he was 12.
Yeah, that's cool. Hey, according to Cyrus the Virus, Kenny Omega was already more over than anybody else at this point. So,
who the hell is Cyrus the Virus?
Don Callis.
Don Callis, yeah.
Don Callis, yeah.
Oh,
remember
Don
True
Callis?
Callis?
Sorry, my bad.
There's never going to be anybody more over than Butch Reed. The man
Is anybody-
invented, alongside
man
former
was
Vice
over
President
in
Al Gore,
Florida.
invented the internet. He founded Netflix.
Okay, I'm
He's
very
no longer
curious.
with us. May he rest in peace. But he's more of a man than Don Callis will ever be. That's all I got to say about that.
this match, by the way, I'm actually watching it. I mean, they're working crisp. But Triple H, even now you can see just how much of a ring general he really is, and he just kept growing from there.
Is that Spike Dudley sitting front row? I don't know if you
That's what
guys.
I'm about to say.
Sure, you see the guy in the red
Yep.
T-shirt and the hat. He looks like he could be a
It
top
certainly
guy.
looks like him.
But then to the
Definitely
left
looks
of him looks like Spike Dudley.
Yes.
The guy in the red shirt reminds me a little bit of an out-of-shape Michael Myers from Wayne's World.
And here comes a guy that certainly isn't out of shape on my screen, and he is Mr. Perfect, baby.
Yes,
He is. So he's going to take the valet. I think that's what happened here.
because he and Triple H are feuding.
Look at that, the double-breasted suit. Don't touch my suit, kid.
That's
Lauren,
Yes,
you
Antonio,
cannot
he
be
said double
tweeting
breast.
during our show. No tweeting during our show.
Lauren's tweeting, live tweeting the show.
Yes. Well, she doesn't
Oh my
realize
God,
is
Lauren.
the people I find important, and all of you are on the screen. I actually have notifications. So Lauren comes up, and it's like, "Thank you, keep them coming." And then of course Efren's on here talking about an emo daddy. I don't know what that is. So
Okay,
An emotional
Efren.
daddy.
Emotional daddy.
He's already tried to FaceTime me once since I've been on this call. I'm
The
like,
way
buddy, how
Randy
many times am I
smiled, I
going
don't
to tell
think
you I'm
that's
on
what that
Top Guy
means.
Theater tonight?
Oh, Efren's been trying.
He's
I
already.
turn Efren on. FaceTime him and bring
Do it.
him.
Do
Oh,
it.
he'll take over, and then he can.
I
all
thought
right, here we go.
Andrew was trying to FaceTime you.
Oh my God!
Oh Jesus!
You know all about that, huh?
What is
Yeah.
this? What is OZ? What is that? Oh, you're recording? Gotcha.
No, it's I just
He's FaceTiming.
FaceTiming Efren.
Oh, okay.
Now he's not going to answer. He's
Efren.
Of course not.
Lauren, what are you drinking tonight?
Well, I'm glad you asked, Frank. Tonight, prior to coming here, I was watching a Hallmark Christmas movie.
Oh God.
My grandmother was too. Yeah.
I have a little
not
Mexican hot chocolate, and then I spiked it with Fireball.
Oh my lord!
Wow.
Good choice. Good choice.
A little spicy.
My friend Justin here goes, "That's actually really good."
Mexican
And
hot
here's what's
chocolate.
sad is that Shawn Michaels shirt that person's wearing in the front row. I had that shirt, and I wondered why I got bullied. But anyway.
You know, Frank, since you brought that back up, I had an idea.
Oh,
when we eventually get to 100 subscribers, WWE Shop sells a replica Shawn Michaels winged eagle. I want to get that for you, and I want to get you a Shawn Michaels costume in your size. And I want you to recreate
What the
that
hell does
picture.
that mean? What do you mean in my size? What are you trying? Are you trying to say you can't get a Shawn Michaels costume on a normal? But you got to go shopping at Big and Tall XXXXXXXL. What size are you? 5 times XL?
Henry, did you hit the lottery that I'm unaware of? I'm curious.
Frank, don't
No,
you know?
I just think it's an idea. And besides
Henry's
that,
going to
Frank,
buy a belt, a costume. Damn.
I would like to go and bring up our first Twitter question while we're not paying attention to the show here.
Yeah.
All right, let me get this pulled up here. All right, so Michael McClanahan wants to know, Pauly B, I appreciate the fact that you include all of my questions in every show ever. How much do I owe you again?
I need to chime in on this. I have an answer for this question, Michael.
That's
McClanahan.
awesome. That's awesome.
I think I got in trouble for including Michael McClanahan among the first in all of our lives and events that I host. Paul, do you remember that message exchange?
Yeah,
I got to thinking about it later, and it's like, you know what? The same handful know to jump in at the very beginning, so I probably do. The first few
Listen.
are probably all the same every time.
I'm going to rant here for a little bit. All right.
Oh,
yeah, buddy.
And it's one that people will actually listen to, not like the ringside variety.
Yes.
I just do this to pop you, Antonio. So we sometimes get feedback here at ad-free shows, and some of the feedback that we get is, I sit in those Zooms for the first 10 minutes, and when I see it's the first 4 or 5 people all the time, I click off. It's always the first 4 or 5 every time, and I'm not going to sit there and listen to them. Well, then what are you there for? Because Lauren and I do our darndest to make sure we get everybody through at least once, and often it's 2 or 3 questions for some people that are say, can I come back around? But the other thing you got to remember too is that we're one person, right? So we're making sure we're trying to keep the conversation flowing with the guest. We're letting people in as they're coming in. Sometimes there's people that are DMing us directly because they want the attention, coming to us. Pauly, did you see? Did you see? Did you see? Pauly, did you see? Did you see? Did you see? I had a question. Did you see? Did you see? Did you see?
Paul, do you ever get Paul? You look so beautiful
Constantly.
tonight. Paul, you're breathtaking tonight. Paul, I love your outfits. Do you get those ones
And
too?
then there's the group chats with everybody having the questions. So I have this tablet here that I write everybody's name down while the answers are going on. And this isn't a, hey, feel bad for us. Not at all. But my point is that then they'll go to the Discord, which by the name is the perfect name for that app, Discord. Because there's lots of Discord that's sown amongst there. And then, we'll have somebody in there and they'll say, we leave after, because they don't get to us. Well, for us, it's just easier to keep track if we follow the order of which the comments are dropped or says, I have
At least for the first handful, we have to.
so because we don't want to miss
I'll
people.
jump all
The
over
goal is not to miss people, because
Right.
if you do, then you'll have someone named Rob T that'll say, oh, what, you forgot my question already? Huh? Question mark. Oh, I'm so sorry. We're trying our best here. So anyway, it's hard, and I want to make sure we get everybody's questions in as much as we can. Michael McClanahan, you're very welcome. We're trying to do our best. You are the first one to pull that trigger, but there are people that don't like you, Michael McClanahan.
It's not him.
And it's
They
not
don't
me.
like us. They
Well,
don't
yeah,
like
true. They don't like us because you know why? You're the very first one. I have a question this week. and they hear you all the time at the beginning, and they're like, "Well, what about me? I'm Jim the baker, and I have a question, and I want to go first." So we're just trying to do our best. So Lauren,
I'm
I'm
Brandon
sorry.
McBranahan, and I have a question too.
I'll take the bullets for us, Lauren.
Thank you.
If I was wearing pants, I would have stand up right now and give you a standing ovation.
Wow. Well,
Of course, he's not wearing pants.
So
I
he's
mean,
not
that's not a
wearing
surprising
pants, but you are
statement.
still getting a standing.
We love you guys and want to get them all in. Trust
Well, Lauren's definitely getting a standing
Most
ovation from
of the
Antonio. Let's be
Zooms I
real.
attend, I don't even ask questions because I want other people
I know you
to
don't.
ask questions.
I know you don't.
But last night with Renee, I've been wanting for years to ask her about Southpaw Regional Wrestling so bad, and I'm so
Thank
glad
God
I
we
got
weren't.
right in there.
It wasn't me or Lauren there, so
No, but
you didn't get to ask though, Phil. Is that what you're
No,
saying?
I
he
did.
did.
I was like
good.
second.
Good.
I was so glad because I'm like I rushed home. I got here and I'm like I have to ask her about Southpaw
I
because
feel
it's
like after
so
the
awesome.
first few that I joined last year, after that, it's like, okay, do I have a question? Do I have a real question, or do I
Yeah.
just want to talk to this person?
Yeah.
Okay, I have a real question. I'm going to put my name in. Otherwise,
That's
I just kind of
very wise.
sit there and listen.
Yep. Yeah, because it's just like you can watch it later. The other thing that I would say, and I was talking, I think Josh Odom about this, and maybe you, Lauren, was it could help down the road if we had a volunteer or two that said, hey, Pauly, Lauren, Christy, you guys facilitate and kind of maybe it gives us the opportunity to have some follow-up questions that make it a little better user experience, and then have someone who's kind of just saying, hey, I've written all the names down and just feeding us in out of order, but still making sure we get to everyone so that we can mix it up a little bit. So
I'm
it isn't the
surprised
same.
we
first
hadn't
4
gotten
people.
to that point actually.
Yeah, but it's just more resources and help and making sure that we can
Yeah.
do that instead of just one person multitask the whole time. But
It probably depends on the Zoom too, right?
Yeah.
Like, so last night there was still a decent amount of people, but if you have 12 people, it's a little easier probably.
oh,
for you to manage.
absolutely. And they're getting multiple questions in if you have that little bit.
Right.
Speaking of questions, I do have another one from Twitter. Then I see Henry raising his hand.
Actually, Phil, this fits better before.
Okay, go ahead.
I have a counter question from Henry from Bath, New York. How much money did Michael McClanahan give you to ask that question first? And why aren't you sharing it with the rest of us?
Michael McClanahan has never greased my palm. I'll tell you that, Lauren. I don't know about you.
So no happy endings.
I believe he hasn't with the two of you.
He's also
You're
the
both
very
big
first
up-
person to
you're very
post
popular
questions.
people. Phil, on the other hand, while
also-
popular, isn't as popular as the two of you. And he might not believe that he has the adequate amount of stroke. Therefore, lubrication may be needed to grease the squeaky wheel.
What? Who the hell thinks I'm popular?
I mean,
Oh, thanks, Lauren.
us.
The Smoking Guns are in the ring with Davey Boy and Owen. I just want to throw
Oh,
that
What
out
the
there.
hell did they do to Owen's head?
You said smoking guns, and then someone said Lauren. I'm like, what?
JR is blaming Vince again for his headset.
That's actually a perfect lead-in, Pauly, to my Twitter question here. We're going to go and pull this up here. Lori B. Life Coach wants to know, Lauren, what's your home address? Knife fights at dawn, bitch.
Oh.
Is that a made-up Twitter handle? Is that
I
really
love that.
Hey, this is Conrad Thompson, and you're listening to Top Guy Theater.
And that's our show.
For a
Good night, everybody.
for a split second, people crap their pants.
That was so good.
Outstanding.
I thought that
the
was
Kolb.
Now, what your background looks like? There's a ghost in there. What's happening?
Because I'm transferring to Lauren's house.
Did you back into your green
No,
screen?
he's
No, it's because StreamYard hurts with cameras.
back in the time machine, and now he's
Mike, I was
teleporting.
Now he's
going
at
after
Lauren's
you
house?
because you wanted to join us tonight, but I thought you'd be busy, pulling pranks and making people's lives miserable.
So
He is,
apparently,
he's
not
here.
much has changed since the last time I was here.
I think I have a somebody emailed me and wants my autograph. I'm like, I'm not sending an autograph anywhere because it's probably fucking Conrad down there.
It
I'm
actually
gonna-
isn't.
I'm gonna send
Hand
an
to God.
autograph picture to somewhere in Philly, and it's probably like a porn place or something. Like, it's not happening.
Actually,
My
I
hand to
want your
God, not
autograph
me.
So that I can become the next prince of Nigeria.
But hey, I'll do whatever I got to do to become the prince of Nigeria. No, I won't.
No, you
God,
just
I
want to
miss
be.
Owen
You want to be
Hart.
the Prince of Maryland. Do we understand?
I miss Owen Hart so much, guys.
I'd like to be the mayor of Baltimore. Oh my God!
It's my life.
Boy,
Oh,
man, you look different.
Ahead.
Hey,
So, just real quick. I have to say, going back to the Discord thing, I had to delete it because I would go in there and
It's my advice.
the turmoil, the shit
Discord.
talking, the vileness in that I didn't even read through it. Like somebody jumped on John Alba the other day. I saw. I'm like, I'm out of there.
He's gonna learn quick.
I don't want any part of this shit. It's this community isn't supposed to be a bunch of whiny bitches. It's supposed to be a bunch of people who share professional wrestling in common.
Absolutely.
It's like, come on.
Now, is John Alba's job to be in there, because he is very active in there, and I am shocked.
I think that he is doing everything he can to become fully engaged with the community.
Ooh, Sonny.
Antonio, is that
Sonny.
it?
Yes.
Is that it?
I just saw it.
Moment.
Is that
There was, I saw Sonny.
That was one of it.
Is that it? Do we need
One
to
of
cue
it.
it?
Uh-oh.
Cue it.
That's ridiculous.
I mean, I'm looking for something that's just gonna explode in your face. But at the same time, you know, it's gotta be smooth. Do you know what the key is, though? You can't put too much in the bottom.
Oh, no.
Oh my God!
What in the hell did I just watch?
Lauren, it could have been
Phil
that.
Jackson in charge of the banner at the bottom of the screen.
You just noticed that, Pauly?
Yeah, I knew it was Phil Jackson.
You know what? I think Pauly's got excited when he saw that Mike was here because he knows now he's probably going to get some Taco Bell.
Doing it right now.
He's doing it right now.
Paulie and I already discussed this about, I don't know, 2 hours ago. He asked if he could change his order a little bit. So
It's part of the Top Guy Theater contract.
Wait, you're ordering Taco Bell for Pauly?
Yeah,
wasn't
I
here
did
for
this
the
last.
first
I
one.
did this first time too. He was on Top Guy Theater.
I explained they were asking me, you know, where'd you come from? What'd you do? And I got into the story how I worked at Taco Bell as I was a teenager. And like 15 minutes later, Taco Bell was at my doorstep. Not a bad deal.
We are legit having Taco Bell tonight at my house for dinner.
Nice. What's your go-to order, Phil Jackson?
You know, it used to be the Mexican pizza, but they took that away from me. So
I'm with you. What the hell?
It's just whatever I feel like getting at the night, but they don't have my Mexican pizza anymore. So sad.
Oh, there's.
Well, on DoorDash, you can get a BOGO cheesy gordita
Oh,
crunch.
Lord. There she is again.
I know.
So, Henry, see, you put Henry on there, and now I'm fucking calling you Henry, Antonio. Come on.
She's
Lauren, Lauren, what would you get from Taco Bell?
I was going to ask that question.
I love Taco Bell. I'm actually like somewhat of a connoisseur, and the only rule is that I don't get their chicken or steak. I
love their chicken.
Nope, strictly the dog food. Thank you. very
Really?
much.
I'm
Yes.
a chicken guy.
Wow.
But I will get just about anything on the menu.
Having made all the food there, I will eat their chicken.
There you go. But you don't do the dog food?
You can have the dog food.
You said
I'll
you're
eat the dog. Are you kidding
connoisseur.
me? I'll eat it all. D, all the above.
This sounds like a great idea. I'm going to order some Taco Bell.
Paulie, what are you gonna do? Do you need something to slosh down your food? Like, should I get you a Pepsi or something?
If they whatever, I know this is funny, but a Diet Pepsi or Diet Mountain Dew would be great.
Hey, there's nothing funny about that.
Diet Mountain Dew.
I drink nothing with calories, buddy.
Okay, yeah. If I'm gonna eat my sugar, if I'm gonna have sugar, I'm gonna eat it, not drink it. That's my.
Agree.
Now, the best thing you can cut out of any diet is sugar and drinks. If you cut out only one thing, do that.
Can we please disclaim that Phil Jackson is not a nutritionist or
I know, right?
physician?
There's nothing better than getting nutritional advice from fat guys.
I am 100% sure that drinking a Pepsi a week is better than drinking diet shit every day.
Wow, 110% agree with that statement.
I mean, that is true.
It
But
sure
I
looks like
cut,
a
I
doctor.
cut soda out of my diet. I'm like over 100 and some days soda free, and I've lost 45 pounds.
Look at you, Brandy. Go, girl.
I mean, you are talking to a guy that drinks 2 energy drinks a day, so yeah, I'm probably not the best guy to ask for that.
Energy drinks are terrible. They'll make your heart explode.
Do you drink coffee?
Let me give you a quick story, because I told Frank.
Hey, tongue girl, do you drink coffee?
Yes.
So
Okay, you have caffeine then too.
It's different.
So real quick story, guys. 6 years ago to the day, I was driving a van at my job
Down by the river. Yeah.
In
a van down by the river.
I blacked out while driving this van.
Oh my.
And this van bounced off over to the opposite lane of traffic.
Fat
Come on, get
guy
in the car,
in a
hit the
little
guardrail, bounced
coat.
back over the other lane of traffic, and flipped over. And I thought, on the way to that happening, my arm went numb. I got dizzy. I got cold sweats. When I woke up in the van, it was turned sideways on a hill, and I was still kind of shaky. I thought I had a heart attack. So went to the hospital. They couldn't find anything wrong with me. Well, 4 years later, same thing happened again. I was sitting at my desk at work, fell over, nothing. Okay, about 4 days ago, driving back from Chicago on a visit, and I pounded a 5-hour energy, and then an energy drink before that, and then another energy drink after that.
Oh my God.
Because I'm exhausted because I've been doing so much crap lately. And so we are about a mile from my house, and I'm driving, and I'm just chatting with my wife, and my mood instantly changed, and I felt my whole arm immediately go numb. My face went to a cold sweat. My hands were shaking, and my heart was pounding, and I'm like, this is it. I'm having a heart attack right
Holy
freaking
gosh.
now. So I get home, and I'm like kind of freaking out. I'm like, I think I'm actually having a heart attack. And so I'm sitting there, and I'm trying to calmly breathe, and I'm like debating whether or not to call an ambulance. Well, I did have a heart attack, but I did have an arrhythmia from all those fucking energy drinks. So I've not had an energy drink in 4 days now. So
Okay, but how much of it? You said how much did you have? And the one
I had that morning. I had a Bang energy drink, which is my go-to.
like a Monster or
No, a Bang. It's called Bang.
oh yeah, Bang. Gotcha.
Yeah.
Okay.
I had a Bang, and then on the way home, I had a Monster. Then I stopped at a gas station, and I got a 5-hour energy because I was still sleepy.
Holy shit.
My wife, by the way, my wife couldn't drive. She has a broken foot, and both of the vehicles we own are stick shifts, so she couldn't clutch. So yeah, I was just downing.
So a
shit.
Bang, a Monster, and a 5-hour energy back to back.
No wonder he thought you were having a fucking heart attack.
Yeah,
Yeah,
real
well,
quick.
good.
My doctor, when I was going through all my stuff, you know what my doctor said for me when you're really feeling sleepy, Frank, you know what you need to do?
Have sunny days.
Go night.
Get more sleep.
Have sunny days. Sleep isn't an option for
Oh,
me.
could
right
you imagine
now with
have a little sunny days and
everything
then go to
going
bed?
on in my house?
Yeah.
I have
Sounds
another foster kid in my home right now. By the way,
Sunny days now.
Wait, there's
2021
children
sunny
in your
days?
house right now?
Hey, let me check the door. Make sure my wife's there.
Either way,
for that prescription.
Hey, can we get a new time check for Kolb? And I feel like I'm behind all of you.
Yeah, I'll give you. Can I give you?
35,
let me see.
56, 57, 58.
Yeah, it's close enough.
So just so everyone knows at home or on the pod, we just watched the Smoking Guns be defeated by the tag team champions Owen Hart and the British Bulldog. Just throwing that out there, just so everyone knows. Even though we're having some fun conversations.
And now we're watching Triple H have
Mike.
a conversation with the real Scott Hall and Kevin Nash, wherever WCW is on this same night.
On the
Hey,
one
tell them to hurry up, bring me
1-900
back.
line, baby.
Mike, what do you think Triple H is saying on the phone right now?
Isn't that one of the Rougeau brothers?
I don't want to say.
Yeah, it is
I don't
Antonio.
know. I don't know if this is a PG-13 show or a rated R show anymore.
What the hell have you
We're
been?
still
PG
rated
what?
R.
Oh yeah, have I
I-
sworn really bad on this show? I'm sorry.
Phone
Please
number no
swear.
longer active.
I post these on YouTube as not meant for children. They're
Okay.
every single one of them.
Your
We
OnlyFans
just
is
had
the same thing.
A guy have a
Hey,
vignette
Mike, he did share the
about
picture.
gifts.
The
Yes.
Shawn Michaels
Okay,
picture at the
it doesn't
beginning
get
of
more
the.
rated R than the jizz rope shooting moment. So
And JR
Hey.
left.
He just said,
There- Pauly, are you aware that Thunder Rosa saw that photo too?
Oh yeah, because I was on hosting Thunder Rosa's Zoom when Frank Bruno gets on and says, "I just want to apologize to you for the picture that Mike Kolb showed of me to you." And then it got really awkward. It was a really awkward Zoom moment. Probably the most
She didn't
awkward
know
Zoom
what to
moment
do.
we've ever had. In
I think she
ad-free
threw
shows
up a little
history.
bit.
Yeah, she was
Look,
like
she has
she
the
had like
photo.
some kind of reflex and her jaw locked real tight. And
hey, we got heel JR. Can we track this?
I want to say something real quick here.
Nice brag.
You motherfuckers.
Fucking internet. Goddamn. Click here. Touch this. Drag this over there.
Click here, swap that, fuck this. You listen to me, Vince. God damn it! I run this company behind the scenes. You don't know how much I paid. Well, Jr., what a maneuver!
Are we not
Oh,
tracking
man.
this, Frank?
Jim Ross, everybody.
Here we go. Oh wow, that's Red Ass before he was Red Ass on the
Wow.
podcast.
Beautiful thing about that was that underhanded throw. McMahon caught it and just didn't get stymied by it at all.
Well, of course, pal.
Wow. I have not watched this show in a long, long time.
I don't think I've watched this show in 25 years.
I haven't watched it since I was 12.
Well, you can all kiss my ass because I was 16.
Antonio, you feel better now? You get one out?
Yes.
Oh, wow.
All right.
That's his
Wow.
first of many.
Yeah.
I don't know what to say after that. Like, wow. It's like, oh my goodness.
Here comes Ron Simmons in a
It's the
helmet.
Trojan Man. What's he doing?
God,
Yes.
it's the gladiator thing.
So imagine getting on FFP every week, and this is the background you have to look at behind Dave every single week.
Oh God.
This is legitimate Zoom background.
Can I ask a question of you, Puello?
Yeah, sure.
Why does he use that as a background when he introduces Farouk, as I'm going to call him here, as he was in 1996,
Hi.
as WCW World Heavyweight Champion and Florida State Seminole legend Ron Simmons, and use the background of the goddamn Trojan Man?
Do you think that there's logic in anything that some of the things that Dave does? Like, by the way,
I would
if
love to
you're-
know how he takes 137 vacations a year.
Well, I actually know the answer to that question now. In case anybody's curious, when they say the research team, that's me sitting there doing that. So you're welcome.
So Jeff Jarrett was pissed off at you?
Yes.
That was a fantastic episode. I'm just saying.
Paul, have you had any conversations with the researcher this week?
Oh yeah, I talk to him daily.
Me too.
Yeah, I love
Lots
the
of prayers.
researcher. He's like one of my new besties. He helps.
Well,
at
back
least
off.
one.
Okay, chill.
No,
right?
not in your way, bestie. But
I'm just kidding.
yeah.
You
Oh,
you
man.
only have one researcher?
What's that?
I was saying you only have one researcher?
Pretty much right now, yeah. The guy does them all. I mean, he's unbelievable.
I don't know
Does he
how
not sleep?
I don't know when he does because
he
he has a
doesn't
real
seem
job
to
too.
sleep.
I don't know how much you guys can get into this or not, but I've noticed, and I didn't really piece it together until Top Guy Weekend, but I literally walked past Jeff Jarrett, didn't realize it was Jeff Jarrett, but he was looking down and he had a bunch of little note cards in his hand. Then I thought back to some other episodes and him talking about prepping for the show. He seems like he does a lot more. He's produced more than the other hosts.
He has. Go ahead, Lauren. I'll let you talk first.
I would say that there are different types of personalities on the Ad Free Shows lineup, and I would call Jeff Jarrett definitely a type A. Right?
I think that he has an idea of what he wants covered, but I don't know sometimes that is communicated in a timely fashion to the person that's writing the shows so that they can get that to the show into the show notes. I mean, let's be honest. Let's be fair. Jeff and his family were on vacation up until right before they recorded that episode. So there was little to no time for there to be any kind of real dialogue for that and the guy. And so I don't know. It's just
I was actually, researcher told me that he was told literally less than 12 hours before the show, this is the show, we need the research.
Right. No, I wasn't being critical. It just seems like every show he's always talking about, the ad-free team and all the research they did. And you don't really hear that from other guests really. Bruce Pritchard, he just doesn't give a shit about the research apparently. But, it just seems like he's more, I guess let's say anal about his research and being prepared.
Type A.
Yeah.
Whereas Bruce Pritchard, on the other hand, is a type F who will make up facts to go along with his story so long as they make reasonable sense, a la giving the belt back to Hogan at WrestleMania 9.
Womp womp.
Is this being video recorded?
Yeah.
Yes, I think so.
I do want to say that I think Jeff is cognizant of
Stable.
representing himself well and providing a good, high quality product. And so the way that he goes about doing that is the way that he wants to do it.
And I think too, it's Lauren, to your point, it is still it's how many episodes are we with Jeff show? My World. Less than
It's
20.
been like 4 months. Yes, probably.
I mean, maybe 20,
15.
25.
Yeah.
It's still you're still growing, and you're still learning and figuring out all these types of things, and it's just going to
Right.
continue to get better and better. And I know that Jeff and the researcher have had phone calls since that show, and work things out and get on the same page. And now it's like, hey, well, if there's 4 or 5 things you definitely want covered for different topics, then let's have those conversations. So it'll be fine.
Meanwhile, that same researcher is working for all of the podcasts, and he has people like Eric, who I don't think reads the notes at all. He goes into the show cold and lets Conrad or Paul, lead the way.
Same as Bruce.
So, okay, yeah. So it's like you have different types of personalities, but only one researcher catering to all those different types.
Same as Jim Ross.
Yeah, we had Eric on Top Guy Theater a few weeks ago. We did a piece on aces and eights, and he absolutely loved it because he's like, this isn't something we normally talk about, and I'm really happy that we get to discuss this.
Speaking of discussing things, Phil, are you ready?
I am ready.
All right.
So normally I do some sort of silly intro or funny voice or brother love impression or something stupid, but I have none of that this week. So this week you guys get an adorable puppy to start my segment. That is
That's awesome. What kind of dog is it, Phil?
He is a Danish, half Great Dane, half Mastiff.
Oh, so he's going to be a big
He's going to be a monster. So we've got Goldust and Mark Mara in the ring. They are two quintessential.
Who else is in the ring, guys?
Oh,
Mabel.
Mike Yoda.
Mike Yoda, too.
Mike
Yeah.
Yoda, baby.
So they are quintessential mid-card guys. And Paul, you and Eric actually touched on this a little bit already in 83 weeks. So I was like, that son of a bitch is starting to bury my lead for tonight, but I'm still going to roll with it. So everyone comes into WWE, AEW, Ring of Honor. They all have the same goal. I want to be a world champion. Everyone can't be a world champion. There have to be mid-carders. And there are people that just fit the role. And they do it so well that they're not going to be world champions, but they're not going to be buried either, like a Dolph Ziggler or a Miz after 2011 Miz anyway, because he was a mid-carder after that point. Also, Jake the Snake Roberts, like you talked about on Kyoto's mailbag.
Yeah.
That one struck me. That's actually where I got the idea for this. Jake never won a world title, never won an Intercontinental Championship, but it was always in that upper mid card.
Yeah.
A lot of people like to go, oh, this person, they need a world title, and this person, like MJF, he's not world champion, or Dolph Ziggler, he's not world champion. And then those same people will say, we need long title reigns. We need title reigns that last a year and a half. The titles get switched too much. You can't have your cake and eat it too. You can't have Dolph Ziggler have a year and a half title reign, but then have another guy like a Finn Balor, who everyone else wants to be champion, have a year and a half long title reign. Yes, there are 2 titles on each show, but there are so many people that the internet clamors to have world titles for, and it's just never going to happen because there are too many people that fit that mid-card or upper mid-card role so perfect, like a Rusev. Rusev, guess what? He's still in that upper mid-card role in AEW, but know how much Rusev's worth? I don't, but he drives a Ferrari, so clearly he's doing well for himself. So
he did in the marriage department too.
Absolutely, he's knocking out a party. He's batting 1,000. So the whole point,
Him and his double jointed wife.
Absolutely. The whole point is regardless of how many times you go, this guy should have been world champion. That guy should have been world champion. That guy should have been Intercontinental champion. This guy is in the mid card too much. He's not in main events. Sometimes they're just going to be there forever. But it's not always a bad thing if they're okay with it. That's my take, and you've been filled in.
Speaking of being filled in, I believe Antonio is looking to fill in Sable. Sex
Well,
joke.
not anymore because I'm not dealing with Brock Lesnar.
Yes.
I don't know if anyone watched SmackDown last night, but goddamn, he was on fire.
Yeah.
What do you want for?
My God.
What
Is
did
Michael
somebody
Myers
drop-
talking us right now?
Yeah, did somebody put the microphone up their left or right nostril?
That's James. I didn't want to call it out, but James.
Yeah, James was breathing pretty heavily there.
I mean, it
Well, you
sounded
know.
like he was snoring in the middle of Phil's bit.
James,
That
I didn't know it was
funny.
you, buddy. I thought it
I
was
didn't know it
somebody
was
off
me either.
camera. Because I was looking around, I'm like, nobody looks like their microphone placement is weird. So, Phil, hey, thanks for filling us in. That was a very good
You should have took me to dinner first, Phil.
assessment.
Normally, I've got some sort of silly shtick, like I did the heel promo, or I'll do a Brother Love impression, or throw my chair across the window.
Yeah.
Yeah. I've got usually something funny, but I was driving home from work, and I'm like, what am I going to do? I'm like, you know what? I'm just going to show my puppy because I've got nothing.
Yeah, show your puppy.
Well, real quick, you
Lauren didn't
talked
show her
about
puppy, so I showed mine.
Phil, you talked about having your cake and eating it too, and I wanted everyone here to know, as a public service announcement, I've had my cake, I've ate it too, and that's why I have 2 chins. So please don't. Have your cake and eat it too.
Listen, Frank, my son still uses your joke to this day of when he met you in Chicago. And my son, the first time he met you, was wearing a Taco Bell shirt. And you walked over to him, you said, that right there, that shirt, that's what gave me these right here. And you shook your titties at him. He lost it, and he still says that to me, Dad. Hey, Dad, that shirt right here, you gave me these right here.
So, I want to piggyback off that story, Pauly. I got a good story about Pauly and his son from Chicago as well.
Oh.
I had to give Paul and his son something that I had gotten for them at the night CM Punk returned, and Paul calls me. He's like, "Hey man, I can't come out to meet you, but my son's out there by all of you guys. So can you go find him? He's wearing red gym shorts." So I start walking around, and you know who else was wearing red gym shorts that day? Ed Prather.
Shut up.
No joke.
Eddie
I walk
Prather.
up. Yeah, I'm on the phone with Pauly. I'm like, this can't be your kid. You're screwing with me. He's like, what do you mean? My kids were? You see someone wearing red shorts? I'm like, yeah, but this can't be. This isn't your kid.
Eddie's my son, guys. Okay.
He's like, well, how? Like,
And he
how
loves
tall is your
Lauren.
son?
He's
like,
infatuated with Lauren.
My
Don't
son's
tell
pretty
Coach
tall. I'm like, okay, this isn't your kid. And that was the first time I ever met Eddie. So Eddie's like staring at me, like, who's this guy looking at me while on the phone? I am like 3 feet from him, be like, Paul, this ain't your kid.
That's the best story ever. Eddie
And I found
Bromwell.
a son. Yep.
Eddie Bromwell.
Eddie Bromwell.
You heard it here first, guys.
That's right. I
See,
love it.
The other thing I usually say about Taco Bell is that it gave me a horrific case of Dunlap syndrome, and when in fact it is my belly Dunlapped over my belt. So, Taco Bell has contributed to the pregnant Frank, and my gestation period has been about the same time as an elephant. So,
Buddy, you and me both, man. When I worked there and could get everything half price, it was not good.
Half price? They don't even hook you up for free?
It was everything 50% off as an employee.
That sucks.
But you figure $20 order, $10, you're rolling out with a lot of food, man.
I'm gonna an honest question here. I'm hoping that the next Top Guy weekend is in a city where my restaurants are in, because all you MFers are gonna eat very well and for very, very free. So I'm hoping. I'm honest to God, like.
Well, tell us all the cities. We'll know which ones to pitch.
Yeah.
San Francisco, Seattle. We have a ton in Las Vegas. Let's see. We've got a ton in Miami.
I'm in Miami, bitch.
We're gonna have one in.
I'm going
South
to Miami
Carolina.
soon.
I'm going with you, Paul.
What's that?
I'm going with you.
Yeah.
Why are you going to Miami? What's in Miami?
The shoot job is they're doing like a thank you kind of leadership deal down there the first week in November. So I'm going down, and they're flying our plus ones with us.
Most American porn companies shoot in Vegas or shoot in Miami, and it makes sense that Pauly would call his company his shoot job.
Oh boy!
I only wish, but no, it's not
wow.
a porn company.
Oh,
I'm
man.
sorry, I'm dragging the show down tonight.
You're not
Oh,
dragging nothing. We're just glad to
We
have you.
expected it. It's okay. That's why Lauren's on here too.
Everyone,
Frank,
you know,
Frank, Paul and I also really love sushi. Do you have an all-you-can-eat sushi concept anywhere?
we have one of the best sushi concepts in America called Pabu. We used to actually be in that used to be our Boston restaurant, but that's not reopening unfortunately because of the pandemic.
What about the other cities you said?
San Francisco.
Pabu is in
San Francisco.
It's amazing.
Yeah, and honestly, if we were to go to Vegas, we have a concept there called strip steak, and they do some incredible sushi as well. So I'll get y'all the hookup if you're not working your asses off if we go that route.
Well, we gotta get we gotta get Antonio some medium rare steak. I know how much he loves it.
Oh yeah,
yes.
Well done.
We're gonna walk a cow.
It's well done steak.
How the
Antonio
hell
apparently
beautiful Raymond Young? Well done.
He likes his ruined steak.
Hey, are all you guys in wherever we do it for next Top Guy?
Oh,
weekend?
absolutely.
Absolutely.
All right, cool.
My
Henry, do you know?
Mrs. Jackson will actually be coming this time.
It depends on
My
location,
wife.
location.
Okay.
My plus
Antonio,
one
what
is
about
really
you,
already.
Antonio? We missed you last time.
That's it. I'm making it this time.
Awesome. Okay, good.
If you go Antonio, though, you have to eat a steak that's blue. You have to eat the whole thing, and one of us has to be there to document and witness the aftermath.
Wow! Did you guys just see that springboard reverse moonsault?
I did. That was impressive.
Where's his
Gotta be
master
bad
blaster?
right there.
Isn't it amazing how Gold Dust, Dustin looks so much better now than what he does then.
Yeah, I've noticed.
Well,
Crazy.
It's because Dustin was on like the drugs and alcohol here.
And probably that night Taco Bell.
Probably.
Pauly Bromwell, speaking of Taco Bell, on behalf of Uber Eats, Matthew would like to apologize because apparently Taco Bell is closed.
You piece of trash, Matthew.
Matthew.
All right, oh well.
Sorry, my Taco Bell's on the way.
Hey guys, it's been a good night, and I will talk to you later. No, I'm just kidding.
But I'm getting you something else. Don't worry.
Oh, Mike Kolb. Mike Kolb. He is Conrad Thompson.
Mike, what's the guy's name for him?
Mike was supposed to beat me
beat you
like 5
off?
days ago
Oh.
for lunch, me and my wife, and he ghosted me. Son of a bitch.
Oh.
No, the exact words were, he's like, I'll be up in your neck of the woods. My response, cool, let me know when. The day of, he's like, oh, I'm going to be up there in like an hour. Well, I can't meet you now. That's not an early enough note. It's the middle of work day. And I had both kids all to myself that day, so.
Yeah, and most fancy restaurants don't like you to bring small children. Which is why
I just don't like taking my
restaurants.
small children into public, just me, because that's a nightmare.
Why are you calling McDonald's a fancy restaurant?
Actually,
Are you
McDonald's
calling
isn't
yourself a
bad
child?
place. Quarter pounder.
See,
quarter
yeah.
pounder.
Speaking of quarter pounder, did you guys see Tim Clements on the boat?
Oh God,
Jesus Christ!
Oh my
So
God.
like
Are
he's
there
got a
pictures
man
out
bun
there?
going on.
Oh
Yes.
God, I saw that
So-
in
so-
his photo with Britt Baker.
Yeah, he's got a
I
man
did
bun.
see that. Now I remember. Yes.
Don't get
And
me started with man buns.
so we already have a man bun, right? Isn't that the AFS man bun?
Yes, that's Moose.
Moose.
Moose. So if Moose is the Big Mac, would that make Timmy's man bun the quarter pounder? Since he's all about McDonald's.
So it'll be the Whopper
my
Junior.
gosh.
Paulie, do you like your quarter
Thank you
pounder
for
with
this
bacon and
content.
cheese?
I can't wait
I don't
to bring
like
that
bacon.
up now.
James.
It's just outstanding.
Riveting.
The content is fantastic. You and
Are
I
you
got to
gonna
talk
cut
more.
this and put it in their show? Oh, you won't do that because they refuse to put anybody else over.
Who refuses?
FFP.
Sorry, I took a shot there. My bad.
Oh, that's okay.
Well, I would love for TJ to be on FFP and go, instead of going, the show I used to be on, just say Top Guy Theater because I've spent 10 episodes putting them over. Put me over a little bit, motherfuckers. What's going on?
Yeah.
You know,
The research
I love all
the
three
research
of them.
team's on it, buddy.
Instead, you got Ringside Rant putting you over.
Oh,
like who wants that stink all over?
RJ
Thank
retweets
you.
every
Thank you.
single thing we tweet out ever.
I love
I can type hi, and he would retweet that.
Who? RJ?
RJ.
Yeah.
Yeah.
The best part of this is just
They
Matt
said hi to
Jennings
me. They said hi.
and Mark Merrill retains the Intercontinental title.
Look at
This isn't
that.
the first title match Dust is going to lose tonight.
That's
great.
true. Very
Dark
good
match
point
with
because it's a
HBK.
dark match, him and HBK later on.
God,
for
look
the
at
title.
Mark Miro. God.
Come
Oh,
on, Henry. You're with me.
Oh, yeah.
So, Frank, the research team is on your request, by the way.
All right, do me. This is the thing. I'm not. Believe me, I actually love what they're doing.
No, I'm just gonna give him a shit. Don't worry about it.
Hey.
I find what they're
Just
doing.
keep saying how much you miss Saved by the Pod. That's all you got.
Oh yes.
Well, I mean,
Yes,
I'm not
we
not
all
to,
miss Saved by the Pod.
not to be rude, but isn't
Not
it
the redheaded stepchild version.
Aren't they using
What
the Saved by the
am
Pod
I
format?
looking at?
It seems that way. It's like an adjusted format, but I kind of feel like it's. I don't want to say Saved by the Pod light, but maybe Saved by the Pod.
They have sports.
It's
1.5?
similar. It's similar but different.
They have
Henry, do you
sports,
have
right?
They
Catherine?
wish
Yeah.
they were
What was I
Saved.
just looking at? With Jim Ross and the people typing into the computers.
This is
Yeah.
America Online.
This is
Yeah,
right. This is
That would
How
be
many of you guys
favorite
were on?
Online?
How many of you guys were in the WWF chat room on America Online?
I never was. I didn't have a computer.
I
I didn't have a computer from
with internet until I
1998.
was 14.
I was using Web TV, I think, at this point.
I was
Share. That's so outstanding.
I was watching those.
I loved Web TV, man. You come home, that red light was on, you knew you had email.
Thank you, Glenn Jacobs.
AOL was, you've got mail.
It's not spam.
Oh, shit. Oh, is it? Oh, he's not randomly bleeding here.
Speaking of Saved by the Pod, Paul,
That mystery, I'm glad that finally got solved. I don't know if you guys watched our Swaggle
Yes.
episode. Actually, it hasn't even dropped yet. So, no,
No, I
you
was going
haven't
to say,
watched
it drops next week, so no one's seen it.
So, Sid comes out to the ring for his match, bleeding out of his head.
Bless you.
And Swaggle was absolutely like, why is he bleeding? Why the fuck is he bleeding? It was just one of these mysteries we had to solve.
Okay, so Paul,
Antonio, what were you going to say?
It's like the Goldberg
million-
effect. Sorry.
million
Cool
dollar
story,
question.
bro. Tell it again.
$1 million question. Are we gonna get a reunion Saved by the Pod episode at all?
No.
In the old form, I don't think so.
Okay.
Does that mean me and Efren would we ever work together again to do something fun? Possibly. But I think Timmy's completely focused on what he's doing, and Efren's killing it with WrestleGamia, guys, isn't he?
Oh,
Yes.
he is.
By the
I
way,
mean, come
coming up
on.
Monday, November 1st.
He is
WrestleMania
absolute
4.
amazing with what he's doing.
Wow.
But trust me, Efren has talked to me about, man, wouldn't it just one day we could do something again? So we'll see.
Frank,
Keep
we
your
got
eye-
a preview though Tuesday, right?
Tuesday?
Tuesday we're going to
Oh yeah, you guys are doing a preview, are you, for WrestleGamia?
Yep.
Yes.
Oh,
Yep.
cool.
On the Brostalgia Network, formerly My Chapter 5.
Brostalgia.
Yeah.
On the
So
whatever
fill me
it's
in
called
on this
today
one.
network.
Tell me about. I can't keep
So,
up. Tell me about
This
Brostalgia.
is a Mandic thing.
Where is Mandic? Where's he at tonight? Is he
he's
on all
over there
fours
right now.
somewhere?
He's on hiatus.
I think he's eating a salad on the toilet in Orlando still. But
Is he crawling into somewhere he shouldn't be?
Mendic's on. He's on hiatus at the moment.
Well, in
I
Chicago,
popped
that was-
Henry. I finally popped Henry.
In Chicago, he was crawling on Frank.
Oh,
did I not tell you that story where he got cold? He got cold. I mean, you know, who at this point I don't even know if Carl listens to us anymore. So, essentially, he was inebriated for most of the time that we were there, and at one point he was sitting on the floor and decided that he was cold and wanted to get into bed with me when that was not the original agreement. The original agreement was that he would sleep on the couch, and I woke up from when his knee hit my inner thigh, close enough to one of the boys possibly getting that deck, and I had my seat.
we are getting way too comfy with each other.
I had my CPAP machine on, and I opened my eyes, and I sounded like Darth Vader, and I'm like, "Carl, are you okay?" And he's like, "Oh, sorry," and he got out of the bed, and then bounced off the sides of the bed, getting to the couch.
Okay,
So I felt
wait a
like
minute.
I was one of those vibrating beds.
So is he wearing any clothing at this point?
This time he was, yeah.
Okay, but was there a time when he wasn't wearing clothing?
There was one point in time where I was on my phone and he's like doing something, and on the corner of my eye I just see bare ass, and I just turn my head back the other way, and then he goes, "Oh, I'm naked. I gotta." And he goes in the other room.
So when he
Goes
crawled
back to the
into your
bathroom.
bed with you, though, he wasn't nude on
Oh no,
all
he was
fours.
clothed. I would have killed him. But see, here's
Okay.
the kicker. After he got out of my bed, when I woke
Brandy's
up at 7
cracking
o'clock-
up. I love this.
When I
Go
woke
ahead.
up at 7 in the morning, he was in bed with me. So
Okay,
at
but
some
like,
point-
what kind of position is it? Are you spooning or is he?
No, please. If I woke up,
I
do
gotta
give off a
know.
lot of
You
heat,
piqued
but-
my interest.
No. He was like on the other side. It was a king bed.
Oh,
Because
okay.
this is the thing. I booked my own room.
Flashlight in
and
his pocket.
I booked my own room, and he came to me maybe a week and said, "I thought I had booked, but I didn't. Can I stay with you?" So I took him in, and there was one night where he
That's
was
the
doing
first
something.
problem.
Well, right.
That was
There
your
was
first problem.
3:00 in the morning. He's playing the bongos on the closet.
Is that like
Wait.
like a phrase for a sexual thing? Playing
No.
bongos in the closet?
What's up, Henry? What's up?
Where the hell did he find a set of bongos to play in the closet?
Hold on, no. He was using in the closet as bongos. He did certain things with his shirts because
There's
what we
something
call in the
wrong there,
business a
man.
metrosexual, and he's putting his shirts into the closet, but he opens the door and then violently slams it. Opens the door and then violently slams it. And at that point, the second violent slam, my fat ass wakes up and says again in my CPAP mask, "Carl, are you okay?"
Wow,
but
just
this
when I
time
thought
he
I had
doesn't hear me 'cause
seen
he's
all the
listening
fun,
he's listening to music.
just when I thought I had seen all the fun hotel stories in my life.
Well,
Right, Lauren?
so
I heard this.
Real quick, and Frank, you could tell. I mean, this is Top Guy Theater. We don't have to hijack it with this, but I think we could share some of the stories because you know what I had planned for pranks that weekend.
Thank God you didn't.
I heard a couple.
Yeah, we just had a lot of fun pranks. Brandy, you had a fun one coming your way. Amy was going to help us.
Yep. There were going to be crickets.
No,
in
that
my
wasn't
room.
for you. That wasn't for you.
No. So the original plan for you, well, the plan for you, Brandy, was Amy was going to let us in, and me and Frank were going to make sure all of your stuff was back in your suitcase, and then we were going to take 2 rolls of duct tape and duct tape the suitcase on you. Then we were going to saran wrap your bed, because that would have just sucked coming back there to get that off. We were going to then go to Carl's room, which at this point I found out Carl was now bunking and I guess we could say sleeping with Frank. So we were originally I was going to buy. Amazon you can buy 1,500 live crickets on Amazon, and I was going to unleash them in Mandek's room because that would just be awesome, right? I was going to make my way into. I forget who RJ was staying with. Was it JD?
Oh please,
No.
Justin.
Oh no, it
Davis,
was RJ and Bama.
Bama.
Adam from
No,
Bama.
Bama was staying with Mark Nelson.
I think RJ was
Okay, that's right.
What a cluster.
I was gonna put. I bought a bunch of 2-way radios, and I was gonna put one in each person's room behind their TV. So I had Bama and Mark Nelson, RJ and whoever he was with, I forget. Brandy, there would have been one in yours in Amy's room. I was gonna try and figure out how to get into some other people's rooms, like if Henry would have been there, Henry would have been on that list.
Oh.
And about 4 a.m, I was going to start streaming an ad-free show's podcast to everybody's room through the 2-way radios. And then
anyway,
I was going to put magnets all over Phil's Camaro that say, "Follow me to the gay bar and I have no gag reflex." Things like that. So the good
Can we
news
do
is
that
now we have to
anyway
lock the
next Top
bag.
Guy weekend?
Wait,
because next Top Guy weekend, I'm already working on new ones.
Wait,
Of
Mike,
course.
no. You tell him the original prank you had planned for me.
I'm not gonna lie, there was like 500 pranks that I had planned, so you're gonna have to refresh my. Just give me
The
one
one
word.
that TJ talked you out of.
Oh, when I was gonna cancel your hotel
You were
room.
going to cancel my hotel room.
That was fantastic, by the way.
I was gonna cancel Phil's hotel room. That's true. And then my other idea, which is there's actually a funny side story to this, and I won't get too detailed, but I was actually gonna drink all weekend and charge it to Phil's room. But I was gonna be waiting for Phil in the lobby, so when he got down there and starts flipping out at the front desk person that he didn't actually spend this money, that I could then pay for mine after getting him red hot.
Kolb, that actually happened to me, and it wasn't a prank.
That's the funny part, because that's a side story, because I had nothing to do with that, but
Yeah.
it's
But
funny
it
that
was
it happened to
blamed on
you.
you, right?
Nor did you have
What?
anything to do with the state of your room. As a person who happened to walk by it, and yeah,
He looks like
I
he's
was,
in pain.
Walked
all the
by
way
my
up
room.
there.
You walked into my room with me.
I
that
know.
day.
I was trying to be
That was
polite.
when Carl was going to make a phone call in the middle of the day.
He
right
was
before our
sleeping while
dinner
he
break.
was on the phone.
He was asleep on the phone, and I go to, and Carl, brother, just so you know, we love you, and this is all in good fun because I knew what I was getting myself into. I go to walk into the bathroom to get the prescription pills that James Quello's wife needed because she had a headache from sleeping with me. I mean, from hanging out with James.
True story.
And,
These are all true facts, by the way.
I go to grab the pills, and there's a hunk of shit in the toilet that Carl did not flush.
What are we doing here?
And I
this
grabbed
all
the pillows
happened.
and turned my head, and there's a booger wiped on the wall.
Oh, come on.
I actually did on my way
Lauren,
out.
what are we doing?
What are we doing? Why are we here?
All of that, Frank, still pales in comparison to what happened while we were in Florida.
Oh, let me guess.
Oh,
Somebody
well,
had their arm halfway up somebody's ass. What,
Oh, you
what
don't know
happened?
that story?
Oh no, do you not know what happened at Universal Studios?
Oh, I heard about him.
Oh,
him in this eating a tall salad inside of a bathroom.
Well, who the fuck? First of all, you got Henry, Mark Nelson, and Michael Amend trying to comb the streets of Orlando to find him. And
Guys,
then-
I think we just listen. I think we say, Carl, we will just Zoom you from wherever we all meet up. You stay home in the comfort of your own home. And you seem like he's fallen off his chair for different things that we've done. Hasn't he? Hasn't he fallen off his chair?
Yeah.
For these recordings.
We actually have a counter at this point.
He's late for his airplane. I think he was supposed to. He was supposed to meet Efren at some point at the airport. He never did for some flight. The guy's a hot mess. He's a hot mess.
Yeah, we have an official Carl drop shit counter for the show, and we keep track of how many times he drop shit.
We don't have a counter, but on the other, like on the other one on Brostalgia, it's he has a whole thing for like a whole like thing that drop that he plays every time he drops something.
So what is Brostalgia?
So I actually like the premise behind it, but a lot of people don't get it. So we're bros and
That's
we're
a problem if a lot of people don't get it. That's not a
Well, there
good
you
way
go.
to start.
Of course.
No.
So we're bros talking nostalgia.
Okay. So what kind of nostalgia? Just wrestling or whatever other stuff?
Wrestling, sports, that kind of stuff.
Also,
It's-
like
it's
FFP.
My chat pack just knew.
Oh,
Will you stop? Hey, they won't say Top Guy Theater. You can't say FFP.
yeah.
Same shit, different name.
Okay.
No, I mean,
Wait, same shit,
like-
different thing. Are we talking Saved by the Pod and FFP again?
Hey, I don't care. It doesn't offend me because I know who started it all. So they can.
Wow. Vader and Sid here. Oh, Sid, so real quick, Sid just went to kick out and he put his face all up in Vader's.
And you know Vader stinks.
That
You know he
armpit.
stinks.
It could have not smelled good.
Oh, could you imagine? That's right. The stank. Vader stank.
Who are these people in the front row?
Look,
They
I
have-
know, man.
They have legit heckled everybody.
Absolutely. They paid to heckle, damn it.
And the dude on the far left of the three of them looks like Michael P.S. Hayes' son.
So, hey, Frank, for this show here, Top Guy Theater, it's YouTube, and you said it's a podcast. Who do you guys use to push out the podcast? Like Libsyn or who's your
Anchor,
Podbean or
Anchor FM?
Anchor? Okay.
Yeah. And that's new. That was our buddy Carl. He was doing that, and then
I just
one
like to
day-
sometimes hear the inside workings of how people do their podcasts and stuff.
Yeah, I mean, this is all still new to me because I a lot of the stuff that Carl was doing, and that was the other thing. He changed the name to Must See TGT.
I was gonna say it feels like things like kind of bounce around for him. So you have the chat
Yeah.
pack, you have
So-
this, then you have
and
that.
again, love Carl so much, but sometimes like he's got high ambitions, and then he can't do it. So Antonio one day is like, Frank, there hasn't been an audio version of the show in like 6 weeks.
Ah.
I'm like, what?
But you guys have had some killer guests, which is
Yeah.
pretty cool.
Speaking of
Some
which,
of them are part of this show right now.
yep.
Oh, thank you.
Speaking of which, shameless plug. Next week's episode, guys, is the long-awaited episode.
Eric
Word.
Bischoff's coming back?
No, actually, we have All Ego, Ethan Page.
My
on the
goodness,
show
see what I'm
next week.
saying? My goodness.
Well, I mean, honestly, we're getting some really great traction. That's fine, but what's important to me, and I really mean this to anybody
what's
that
important to
listens,
you?
that we have fun. If we're not having fun,
Oh, okay.
and it's like work, I don't want to do it anymore. So I've been looking forward all day.
I've
talking
had
to
fun.
Pauly and talking to Lauren, and
Yeah.
hanging
I'm
out
just
with
as
everybody.
excited about the
She's
show.
like center square right now on Hollywood Squares. Lauren's the center square on my
I'm
side.
just as
I
excited
mean,
about
Lauren's
the
probably
show
the reason
now.
that everybody's watching this show to begin with. Let's be real.
Oh,
I'm just-
we're watching the show right now?
Cool.
Yeah, I'm just as excited about doing Top Guy Theater now than I was a year ago. I mean, you can ask Frank. I'm texting him ideas and thoughts and shit all day, every day.
It's
Lauren, can you feel it, Lauren?
No.
Waka waka. Oh, hey, Frankie. I love what Taco Bell did to you. I love what Taco Bell did to you, buddy.
Actually, I'm sorry, Lauren. They'd be more like down here, wouldn't they?
Oh, he had to be. He had to be the jerk.
I was gonna say this. Usually on Top Guy Theater, whoever makes into the second square is usually topless when we're doing the show. So I'm gonna need you to come. And she knows I love her.
Wow.
She knows I love her.
Okay, I'll be here all night long.
You know, if that happens, I'm gonna fall out of the chair right now.
Yeah,
you're gonna fall out of the chair.
Mark can't take it. Phil Jackson will have an episode like he did with the 16 energy drinks earlier this week.
God, yeah, no.
Yeah, we don't need any of that.
Antonio, one day in private, I'm gonna have to tell you something.
Oh my gosh.
And Antonio, your ass
I think Frank might know what I'm talking about. Maybe Frank. Maybe not Frank.
You're gonna have to text me later and tell me.
Okay.
I know a few things, but I tell everybody, I keep things to myself.
Wait. I recall a story. From you, Lauren.
Okay.
I probably still have the text messages.
Are you the one?
I know what you're talking about.
Are you the one?
Yes.
Okay.
I will not say
Don't
anything
tell.
to anybody. I swore myself to secrecy. I have not told a soul.
The
nor
fuck
will I
is going on?
tell anybody.
I don't know, but Sid just won and the pyro's going off. Go ahead.
Hey, Frank, we're getting to where we're almost to the main event. Can we track it before we start the main event?
Yeah.
Like right now?
Like not from right here, but when they start talking about the buried alive match.
Well, see, we watched this with no sound. So how the hell am I gonna know that?
Now let me ask you a question. How do you track it in StreamYard?
Honestly, I just take this and put it next to my
I knew it. I knew it was some paperclip bullshit.
Yeah, paperclip bullshit.
Rubber
is exactly...
bands. Because I was thinking too, you could. Because I was, well, have you guys ever done it where you share the match? Like you've seen X-Ray, how we pull the match in.
Yeah.
Have you guys done that before?
It
takes a lot of bandwidth, though.
I haven't done that because every time I do something like that, like friggin' YouTube like copyrights me.
Oh, by the way, Pauly,
I got to work around for you.
By the way, Pauly, I'm all for that match idea you proposed.
Yes.
You gotta put the filter on the video while it's playing. But do you guys use like Streamlabs? So
put the overlays. So what I do is I rip the video first.
Yeah,
I rip it using OBS.
Yep,
and then I just upload the file to StreamYard as like an MP4.
Oh, okay.
And then in post, one of the guys will just add a filter over top of it so that it can be re-uploaded to YouTube.
All right, that makes sense.
Is this what you want me to track, Henry?
The other thing you could do is
I forgot about this part.
Hey, Paul, just letting you know that your McDonald's guy is riding on a bicycle, apparently, from McDonald's to your house.
I currently have the live view of my driveway right now, just waiting for McDonald's to pull in.
Hey,
remember, he'll be on a bicycle. I'm
Carl.
hoping it's a 10-speed, but
I see Carl on that phone.
What's that?
I see Carl sneaking around your driveway.
Carl's the delivery guy.
In case nobody watching knows what we're talking about, here's a little sample for y'all. Just
good job,
in case.
My name is Phil, and I am awesome.
What is this?
What
Because I am awesome.
Pass.
is the fuck going
Get
on?
Is this Phil putting himself over here on the show?
Make it stop.
This is why we don't
go
give him
again.
the power.
Title
Compliments to my wife for finding that amazing song.
He sent that to me, and I'm not kidding you. I was humming that for half a day. I was like,
Did your wife really find it?
She really. I was in a crappy mood the other day, and she just started looking up, funny Phil things. I don't even know
You didn't
why.
catch that joke.
And she
Paul.
found that on YouTube and started playing it. And
Like,
it,
you just
it
went
definitely
right
put me
over
in a
it?
good mood.
I did, yeah. Oh man, this is
The
good
joke did not
times.
register for Phil at all. He just kept going.
I didn't hear the joke.
Phil and I am on shit.
I was like, I'm sitting here at my desk going, my name is Phil, and I sound like son of a bitch.
But because I want to answer for Phil anyway. He has 7 kids, so she must have found it sometime.
Frank, you know what I did?
Yeah, I don't know if you guys heard me at the beginning of the show. I do have a current extra kid. Yeah, I'm now up to 7.
What?
Yep.
Jeez.
Am I tracking it now, Henry?
Yes.
Yes.
Henry is our track it guy also. He map it and track it.
And eventually, if you'll teach me how, I'll also be our podcast guy.
It's terrible tracking.
Yeah.
Is it?
Yeah.
What you done, Mankind?
Well, I tried. I don't know what to tell you then.
Well, Frank, I gotta tell you something.
All right, well, tell me.
So I'm sitting here drinking my Bud Zero.
Yeah.
No. So yesterday, first time. This was I watched my Chat Pack live from a year ago. I think Mike was hosting, and I looked back on that. I'm like, damn, I'm almost a year not sober now. I look back at it, I'm like, wow.
Completely different person.
We
Right?
have watched your transformation, sir.
Yeah.
It's awesome.
I don't mean to be
November
serious. I just want
16th.
No, it's
Everybody
okay to be
needs
serious.
to remember November 16th. That's
Awesome,
Antonio's
dude.
birthday.
Yeah.
1 year.
It's awesome.
like I was
Congrats.
sitting there. I think I was doing like stone cold crap, just slurring all that.
See, I got to be honest with you, Antonio. Until you said something to us, I didn't know, and maybe that's just me being dumb. Because honestly, again, love you, Carl, but I didn't put 2 and 2 together on him until I spent time with him.
Yeah.
So, at least you had the testicular fortitude to realize you had a problem and go get it fixed. Same thing with me when I had my gastric sleeve. Like, I knew that I would wind up in my early 40s in the ground if I didn't change something about what I was doing. And granted, I probably should have lost a lot more weight than I have, because me and Reese still have a love affair. But you at the very least, knew that something needed to be done, and you went and did it. And that's something to applaud, honestly.
Yeah.
So.
Just so you know, Reese's is code word for Henry.
Yes. Every night I fly to Henry.
Wait,
to
stop.
cuddle with him.
Me, Henry, Derek Henry, Henry VIII, former King of England. Context, Antonio.
Well, you did
so we
say
got
King
Derek
of England
Henry.
and Henry is the king, right? I mean, can anybody here tell me? And I think Justin and Phil are going to go to sleep. Can anyone here tell me a better running back in the NFL right now, or in the last 2 seasons?
Najee Harris.
Shut up, Mike.
Most people will come out and
Lamar Jackson.
Oh man,
somebody will come out and try to say, well, Christian McCaffrey. Well, the motherfucker hasn't.
He
been on
gets
the
hurt
field.
all the time.
Right.
Derrick Henry is a beast. He's on my fantasy team. I love him, and so I can't. He's the man. I mean, if I tell you what, if the Minnesota, Dalvin Cook?
Yeah.
But still,
he
been
can
banged
stay
up
healthy.
here or there.
Yeah, same.
Yeah.
Paul, how far do you live from Pittsburgh?
4 hours from here to the downtown, right downtown. 4-hour drive.
Bears play Steelers Monday Night Football November 8th. You want to go?
I'd love to go, man.
In Pittsburgh.
November 8th, I am. That's what you said, Monday night?
Yeah. You got nothing going on. I already texted the wife.
I fly back from Saturday. That's Friday. Let me check my calendar.
While you're doing that, Paul, Phil mentioned a few minutes ago that we were working. Next week, we're going to be bringing you what's sure to be a beautiful episode with All Ego Ethan Page. 2 weeks out from that, Antonio, you're going to want to be here for this. I'm working on a surprise for you. The 13th of November, I'm working on putting together a show. I'm not going to go into great detail as to what it's about yet. But you are going to be our guest of honor.
Okay.
Because that day we are going to celebrate your 1 year anniversary. When his 1 year anniversary actually would fall.
Wow.
I think if I'm remembering the calendar, November, right? 16th is a Tuesday.
Yeah.
16th is a Tuesday, yes, because the 15th is a Monday.
And if you have time, and I'll extend this invitation out to anybody else, depending on how many we can hold in here. Anybody who's anybody that's ever played a big role in the life of Antonio Santos or that's ever been part of Top Guy Theater is cordially invited to join us. I still haven't figured out what I'm putting together yet.
Yeah, do me a favor. Will you at least let me know?
I may try to reach out.
Show, Frank.
I may try to reach out to Roseanne Barr to see if she's
still available. Real quick, the highlight of that though was Henry explaining that he's got something going on, and he's like, "This is for you, Antonio." And Antonio gives this frightened look. He's like, "Okay, like, what's going on?"
Well, we've got the very pale and
it
purple
involves you holding
Undertaker.
your ankles. So enjoy, Antonio.
Oh God!
I promise it's not going to be anything like that. We're going to save that for the 100th episode.
Oh boy,
Pauly, keep an eye on that camera feed.
Okay. So, are you serious about the Monday night game?
I am.
Well,
Wait.
we
I
can
can't
talk
wait,
outside of this.
Paul, for you to show up.
We have
Waiting for
Undertaker
Mike
here.
and he doesn't show.
yeah, right.
I know, right?
No, Frank can talk to it. I just asked Meg Nelson if she had a hookup on Steelers tickets in a group text that we're
Because
all
I'm
in.
trying to get tickets to. I want to go to see the Titans in Pittsburgh too. Although that game is like the week later, I'm going to Nashville to see him. But
Well, keep me. You can add me if you're doing a little group chat with her about that game. And as I see a car approaching right now,
Paul, would you go see the Titans?
Steelers Titans.
Yeah.
What week is that?
December
Is it
19th. I think it's a Sunday.
It would just depend on what's going on. I would love to see him. I mean, this is the lot for me as a Steeler fan. This will definitely be, in my mind, the last year Ben will play. So it'd be cool to see him play one last time.
I've legitimately never seen Derrick Henry play, so I'm trying.
Oh, it would be cool to see him too.
I'm trying to get in. So we're going November 28th to see the dismantling of the New England Patriots. See, I'm talking. See what happens when you interact with Bills fans? I'm talking shit before the game, and I don't do that. So I'm gonna keep my mouth shut now.
I hope you lose.
No. Please, Frank, continue.
No, I'm not. I'm not doing it.
We just lost Lauren.
Where'd Lauren go?
So yes, it'll be myself and Frank and Anthony Pyers. We've invited Lindsay from Baltimore if she's able to make it to come with us too. It's going to be very fun. And then in December, the Thursday night before Christmas, it'll be Frank, myself, Mark Nelson, and Michael Amend seeing the Titans play the 49ers.
Did you guys trigger Lord?
Wait, what date is that? What date is that one?
Thursday
The
the
23rd.
of
December 20th.
Because I'm going to be in San Francisco the weekend before that.
See now, Mike.
So-
If
Yeah,
you're going
this
to be in
one's
So I guess I
San
know
Fran-
where my ticket went to go for the Patriots game, huh?
Shut up. So if
Shut up and drive.
so, Mike, if you seriously, are you going to be in San Francisco for work?
No, I'm going there for the Challenge Mania podcast. We're doing a live event out there.
Well, again, if you're going to be there, let me know. I can get you into one of our restaurants if you want to eat good.
I was planning on hitting you up once I know for sure if I even have if my wife has any plans because she has work friends out there. She's coming too, and we were potentially planning on doing a dinner with her work friends at something, but I think that fell through. She kind of just let me know yesterday. So
Let me
Do
get
you have
that
restaurants
hobby.
in Pittsburgh?
No, and I keep telling the company that's a market we should try to tap. We don't have a huge East Coast presence right now, so
No, because you guys only had the one place in Boston, right?
right. And I'm trying, even that's closed now. I keep trying to tell them to get their asses back out there. And do
Lauren said
something.
my computer is getting really loud and the screen is blinking and my internet is slowing down. I don't know what's going on.
Does anyone have any interesting stories about this match?
I am still to this day wondering.
You
how
got
the
a case
hell
of Top Guy Theater.
I like the fact that instead of it being like replay, that Vince McMahon still had to come up with something else, and now he calls it a double feature.
Yeah.
Did you guys see that tonight that on Fox, and I know this whole head-to-head debate thing that's going on, I just thought of this when you said double feature, but that he was doing, they're doing on Fox 8 to 10 during Dynamite.
Yeah. That's
you guys see
Replay
that?
of SmackDown.
Yeah, SmackDown and
Are
some
you
highlights
serious?
from the
Yeah.
Saudi
Yeah.
Arabia show.
Seriously?
Oh, I didn't know
Yeah.
that was going on.
Yeah, they're doing a
Yeah, to run up against Dynamite tonight.
I had no idea.
Oh,
Yeah.
we're playing these. They're gonna play these games again.
Isn't that something?
Yeah.
Man,
You know-
you don't tell me they don't think this is they want to go at him. Don't
Yeah.
tell
See,
me
that's,
that.
that's what I'm saying. I think this is my take on it. I mean, I don't think. Obviously, I agree that AEW is a legitimate competition. I think this is Vince stroking his ego. Okay, Tony Khan, you think you're big? Here's what I'm going to do. I'm going to do this, and I'm going to beat you whatever game you want to play because I can. I'm not saying Tony Khan won't eventually get to that point, but 2 years in, he's not quite there. And I
Yeah, 2 years
completely
in.
disagree with measuring success through demos. It's stupid.
No, I actually think it's the opposite. I think that what Vince is doing is He got a reaction out of Tony Khan, right? This is like Mike Kolb 101 right here. This is Mike Kolb information 101. Okay, Vince did something to piss off Tony Khan, got a reaction, right? And Tony Khan went crazy and started telling everybody about how great his show was and everything's going to be the best. You can do that. I can do that. I can do this. And he's like, okay, I'm just going to keep doing this because it's fun.
Yeah. Just going to pounce on that nerve.
And like the problem is that, and this is where Eric's comments kind of come in, is that like Eric went, so far as obviously to say that, like to put himself over, obviously, which fine. But in terms of the actual like war that was going on, I mean, it was a completely different stratosphere of the number of people watching wrestling versus today. So it's tough.
Yeah.
Well,
I mean, I agree. Go ahead.
No, that's Antonio, by the way, Frank, under his desk.
Wait, what?
My so in our I kept
chat.
hearing like a pounding, so I muted Antonio. It wasn't him. I muted Henry. That fixed it. But Henry, you can unmute. What?
I've been done a while ago.
Oh, okay. Antonio. You sometimes are the kingpin of back noise, so I just was making sure. So real quick, with the fact that Vince did put something up against Dynamite, doesn't that make it seem like he does think that they're competition? Because I really think they could be. Because I mean, I'm not gonna lie. I like right in front of me right now. I'm proudly flying a AEW flag because I fully believe that they're the superior product right now. It's my honest opinion. I was never more excited and hyped to go to a show than I was for All Out. I left Chicago with COVID and it was well worth it. So.
I think there is a buzz about their product, the brand, and the global. And I said this on the 83 weeks. What WWE has going for it is size, scale, brand, and tenure. And you go to anywhere, and they're going to know people. A lot more people will know a lot more WWE wrestler names than they would ever know AEW. They're 2 years in. The hardcores like us, we all know them, love them, can't wait to watch it. We've been clamoring for an alternative, because we were getting tired of the stale WWE. So yeah, we're a little more passionate and rabid right now. We're probably a little bit more forgiving of the mistakes that they're making as a result of it. But WWE, we just feel like Disney on ice when they come out and the graphics and all this, stuff's happening and the wrestling's kind of still there, secondary. And sometimes there's great matches on pay-per-view. Sometimes there is. Let's be honest.
Paulie, what did you watch Crown Jewel?
I did not watch Crown Jewel.
I want to tell you, I felt Crown Jewel was really good.
There you go.
I think they did a really good job with Crown Jewel. I'm not a huge fan of where they're holding it, but it is still.
But they put together a good card.
They put together a good card, a good show, and I think the fact that show was so good, I'd love to see what the ratings were from last night, because for the first time,
are these cards getting that good though without the AEW component?
No.
The pressure.
Well, there you go.
No, that's part of the problem.
You're right.
Yeah.
I think you're right. I mean,
So
go ahead.
I said this a couple of weeks ago, and I think this phrase fits perfectly. WWE is an entertainment company that happens to have wrestling, and AEW is a wrestling company that happens to have entertainment.
I don't disagree with that statement, but
it's called World Wrestling Entertainment. They
don't call it that anymore. They just call it the WWE. They don't even go by. They don't even. You know how some companies had their full name. Oh, it stands for this, and then they just become the acronym. Yep. WWE has just become the acronym, and wouldn't even call it wrestling.
Yeah, like the AEW Dynamite I went to in Rochester a few weeks ago. That was awesome. Like the crowd was all
rabid.
I got to see Arn Anderson.
Give them time. Give them time, and let's see. Give AEW time. Let them build their brand. Let them continue to do Arthur Ashe style shows, Jim Ross said the other day, the show hasn't dropped yet, but he said the other day that as a result of the Arthur Ashe Stadium show, now there's other bigger venues that have contacted them, and you're going to see some more of that stuff in 2022. Let that type of stuff happen.
Absolutely.
Let's see what happens with Bray. Let's see these storylines continue. Give it another year or two, and I think that you're going to see this change. We're still in the infancy of AEW, 2 years on TV.
Perfectly said.
Do you think that we could get to a point in the next year and a half, where Tony Khan could decide to ask TBS or TNT to try to go head-to-head with Monday Night Raw? Because hold on, I'm not saying right now. I'm saying in a couple of years' time. I said that to Brandy, shaking her head. Because if AEW can put up a product that can compete with Monday Night Raw, because despite the fact that SmackDown is on Fox, which is a major cable network, to me, the flagship of WWE is and always will be Monday Night Raw. If they could build a product that
doesn't feel that way anymore, Henry.
I'm sorry, I haven't watched Friday Night SmackDown since it moved to Fox, and I won't until it goes somewhere else.
No, SmackDown is where they're putting all their money into now.
I think a large decision, like you said, will he go to TNT? TNT and TBS have to be the ones that want to make that decision. Number one, Tony said that on the Busted Open deal.
Yep.
Hey, they dictated to us what they thought would be a good time slot for us for Rampage. And they figured a lot of people were watching on Friday night, so let's get the holdover audience for 1 hour at the 10 o'clock time slot. So there's a lot more say right now, I'm sure. Still, they're young in the TV contract. You know, TNT still... they're happy with them, but again, this is a much younger product, and so they're seeing how things go. I just don't know if they can build an audience on a Wednesday night and continue to build it stronger and stronger. Why go head to head? What's the point?
I only say that because it seems to me like the former Turner properties of TBS and TNT seem to be more interested in moving not so much away from AEW, but moving into other things. With the collapse of NBC Sports Network, for example, we've seen the National Hockey League move to TNT. We've had the NBA on TNT and TBS now for what feels like almost 20 years. They're moving AEW from TNT to TBS in January, specifically because of the NBA. Now, I don't fault them for that. The NBA will make them far more money in the long run than AEW is ever going to, even if they can get to a point where they are consistently competing with, and they are better than WWE all across the board.
It's actually a better move for them to go to TBS because TBS is actually available more around the country than TNT is. TNT is very close. Yeah, but TBS is on more distribution as far as cable channel across the country. So it's actually a little bit of a better move for them. And to your point, they're already locked in long term with basketball. Yep. So now instead of us getting pushed to Saturday nights with our wrestling like we are here tonight, and yes, then NHL too, but it just made sense for them to say, hey, let's move you to a brand. Well, first, you'll get more exposure across the country. And secondly, we don't have to preempt you all the time.
Here's a number that people don't talk about when they compare AEW to WWE, and that's profit. First 15 months AEW was around, they were in the red. Tony Khan attributes a lot of that to the AEW video game and its development, but even so, they were not a profitable company. Doesn't mean they weren't getting ratings or they weren't getting buzz, but as a business, they weren't doing so well.
There's no way they could have, though, Phil, when you think about startup and everything that it was going to take to launch a wrestling traveling company.
That's almost any business.
Yeah.
Right.
It takes what is.
I actually think that they're profitable. They're close. Yeah, I don't even know if they are profitable now, but they're probably closer to profitability because of the pandemic, because they were able to cut costs where they would have been spending on the road.
Just let's take it from an accountant real quick. That a business does not in any way, shape, or form go into the black like the first 3 to 5 years. And I think that AEW had a leg up in that because they had the fact that, first of all, you've got Tony Khan, Shad Khan, they're hooked in, they're linked in with the Jacksonville Jaguars. Not a huge moneymaker as a football franchise, but remember, the NFL fuses the Jaguars with money because of ad sharing and stuff like that. So, I mean, think about it.
They're worth $7 or $8 billion. I mean,
and they own stakes in several European soccer teams. And
you talking about
Shaheen
the
is wealthy in
cons
his
or
own
the
right.
Jags?
The cons.
The cons are worth $8 billion.
Yeah, they're worth. The cons
They
are.
they clearly have the capital, and now they're on
Yeah.
major
Right.
networks. And yes, they probably did not have huge costs during the pandemic, and they were locked in at Daly's Place for a year.
Right.
So
I guarantee his business plan for the first 3 years had no profit built into
Right.
it. Starting
And that's
a
kind of
wrestling
what I
company.
was getting at.
Yeah.
Is I want to see, comparisons in the money, the business side, 5 years from now. How profitable? Can
Again,
it
we
be?
got to give it time. You're right.
And I think it legitimately begs the question, though, if come 5 years down the road when they go to renegotiate with Warner Media or whatever that becomes, if they ultimately merge with Discovery, do you think that the conversation happens? Well, back in the 90s, when Ted Turner still owned the network, he gave Eric Bischoff an hour on Monday nights, and it turned into a juggernaut. And unfortunately, all of you are right. They pour money into SmackDown and treat that like it's the A show. In part, I think because there's lousy writing on Monday Night Raw, and there's just not enough action to sustain 3 hours. But I don't remember TNT or TBS broadcasting anything else on Monday nights. Not right now, but when it comes time eventually to renegotiate these contracts, what stops them from pushing to be put on Monday nights on TBS, for sake of argument or example?
I guess my question is, go ahead.
Is it the band? Oh yeah, that's horrible. That's why McFoley can barely walk. But Henry, here's my answer to that question: is that back in the late '90s when everyone's like, "My God, you're going to split the audience," you were probably getting a full 8 share between both companies back in the late '90s, so you could split that audience. Right now, you're getting a 2 share. You can't afford to split your audience like that.
That's the biggest point right there. The reason why it makes no sense for them to go to head to head is because head to head doesn't matter anymore. With everybody watching on different streaming services too, it doesn't make any sense to make that push. You could kill them everywhere else.
Right. I mean, just honestly, I quite frankly, we're spoiled now. I mean, we get wrestling on Mondays, we get wrestling on Tuesday, we get wrestling on Wednesday. We get wrestling on Thursday. We get wrestling on Friday. I mean, well, actually, there's no.
We get wrestling every day of the week except Sunday.
Yeah, I mean, so
we get pay-per-views every third Sunday.
Right. So
there's a pay-per-view going on right now with Impact, actually.
Yep.
Yeah.
Oh, Bound for Glory, right?
Yep.
It's amazing to think that
there's a lot of wrestling on tonight.
Our third man in the ring is going to fuck Bret Hart and make Shawn Michaels the champion and usher in the Attitude Era.
Yep.
I mean, and that's the thing. Like, I personally am clamoring for the way it used to be in the '90s, but it's never going to be.
Not exactly. Not the exact same. It'll never be like that.
And quite frankly, looking back at the way that it was in the '90s, WWF was full of smut in my eyes. I thought it was great. I was 18, 19, 20 years old. I love the it's McDonald's time. Yeah. See, Paul, we got to get you on here every week. We'll have
Dude, I want to come on every week just for this type of stuff.
Food Guy Theater.
Food Guy Theater, baby.
What do you got?
I don't know, man.
McFlurry. It's an Oreo McFlurry.
Oreo McFlurry, Daddy.
You found the one McDonald's in all of America where the ice cream machine works?
Did Pauly just call me Daddy?
Yes.
Do you guys listen to What Happened When? Daddy, brother. What is it? What is
Jack Daddy, brother Jack Daddy.
Daddy, brother Jack. Yeah, Daddy.
Daddy, brother Jack.
One of those was in every Boogie Woogie Man promo.
I can't wait till we Zoom again. Us low key big hogs get to Zoom again with Tony, because my friend here who's with me today, Justin, is a huge fan of Batman and the DC multiverse and all that stuff. And he was telling me.
So he needs to see the Batcave.
Well, Tony's Batcave.
Tony's Batcave.
Yeah, but see, he was telling me about all these alternate things
Kolb.
that are going on, these graphic novels, and now I want to be like, Tony, are you in? Like, do you like that? I want to know if Tony's into that shit too.
I love
he goes
Pauly
that
B.
deep with it. We do love Pauly B.
Frank, you keep referring to some guy named Justin. Do you have someone locked in your basement?
No, he's right. He's right here. He's right here.
Hi, Justin.
Hi, Justin.
You're making this poor guy sit here while you're on Top Guy Theater?
He wanted to. We were just
Justin
hanging.
was on Top Guy Theater about a month and a half ago.
Is Is this
Survivor
is
Series.
this foreplay for you guys or something? Or
Oh my god.
And he shoves Kyoto.
So here's go ahead.
Quick update on Lauren. She's having computer issues. She says her computer keeps freezing up. So just wanted to update everyone.
You know, you mentioned Lauren, and I realized I forgot to. I never answered her question from earlier about why I have heat with Eric Bischoff, and now I kind of want to. I feel bad though that she's not here. As we're watching somebody try to dig the Undertaker out of the hole,
Terry Gordy.
I want to go back a minute to the episode that we did with Bischoff, which was the culmination of the Aces and Eights storyline from Bound for Glory 2013. In the research that I found for that show, I discovered that that event was held inside the Alamo Dome, which I thought was a strange location for an event for Total Nonstop Action Impact, because the Alamo Dome holds like 65,000 people. They barely had 10,000. And they build it as Impact's biggest show ever. And when I said that while Bischoff was on the show, he didn't outright call me a liar, but he tried to make the insinuation that they had booked it in a different, smaller venue. When we finished recording and Eric left, Frank pointed out, because he had apparently been doing some research himself, that they only used about, what was it, Frank, about maybe a 16th of the entire venue? The way that they had the lights and whatnot done made it look bigger than what it was.
They usually use for the rodeo. Could you hear me? Okay, I'm sorry.
We heard you.
Your mouth should be in front of the microphone. For the
Terry Bam Bam. There's Terry Bam Bam Gordy.
I unplugged the microphone for a second.
The executioner.
I'm still fascinated. I want to know how the hell they do this. How they did it.
Well, I believe JR talked about it on the episode of Grilling JR.
You can YouTube it.
But Bruce is the one who's like, no, we can't spoil
There's a
the
trap
magic.
door down there.
Yeah, you can literally YouTube it.
Yeah, JR talked about it.
I mean, notice how the camera's not showing you the hole right now. Like,
well, right, because Taker is.
That's a terrible port,
right?
I'm not comfortable looking at any holes. Thank you very much.
Yes, you are. Be quiet.
It's not what your mom said.
Oh, wow.
There's JBL.
Justin Hawk, Bradshaw, thank you. Triple H.
Well, female holes.
Why couldn't they have just gotten the backhoe and just push?
They did that when Kane.
It's Kane. It's gotta be Kane. Gotta be.
Hey, there's Jeff Gordon.
Oh yeah, remember those Oh my God, I used to work at a Peebles department store. You guys ever hear of Peebles?
Didn't those close in the 70s?
No,
they were a department store. They sold racing jackets like that Jeff Gordon shirt. They were jackets just like that, and racing jackets. All of them NASCAR guys.
Oh no, wait, I take that back. That is most definitely a female. That's not Jeff Gordon. I'd like to apologize.
So what I really want to know is how they're able to get the Undertaker, because we're going to see it at the end here. What mechanism did they use to let him put his hand out there?
Spoilers.
Blue Meanie just tweeted, great match
25
between Cody
years
Rhodes and Tommy End.
Oh yes.
No. Not
to
to
watch
the end of the
Dynamite when
pay-per-view,
this is-
to how he does that. Some
Yeah, I
element
don't know
still
how he
has to
does that.
survive.
Someone threw a cup.
Yeah, I'm sorry. It was 25 years
shit
ago.
in there.
Here, have a drink while you're at it.
They're just chucking shit.
Yep, there is.
What I don't
plastic-
understand is
like
why isn't
super-
Paul Bearer grabbing a shovel? It's like he's turned into a supervisor.
He's the foreman.
Oh
He's
yeah.
the foreman. I mean,
He's the
they've got
foreman,
4
don't you
guys
know?
there work, 5 guys there working.
Shut
Obligated to stand there and do nothing.
I'm sorry. Did somebody
Unreal.
just say he's the foreskin? What?
Yes.
Foreman.
He's the
Foreman,
fourth.
gotcha.
He's the pivot man.
Did somebody just bark?
Yes.
Okay.
Huh? I'm confused.
Someone just barked.
Somebody farted?
No, barked.
Oh, Bart.
You're going to be farting shortly there with all the McDonald's.
Oh, God.
Ew.
At least that's better than the Taco Bell, which would give him the runs.
Yeah.
Yeah, speaking of which, if you're driving the bus for 8 hours, do not eat Taco Bell.
No.
What about White Castle?
Yeah, buddy.
Henry, how did that White Castle? One of the times we ordered food at Top Guy Weekend, he and Doug ordered that White Castle box. How was that?
It wasn't bad. We killed like half of it. I also tried cold deep dish pizza.
You've never had
Yes,
White
because
Castle,
some
Brady?
of us we ordered Giordano's.
Yes.
Oh.
I was
The other
so
half
happy to
ordered
get
the
that.
White Castle box.
In answer to your question, Phil, the nearest White Castle to where I live
Mike.
is about 300 miles.
Wow.
That
I've got
way,
one 6 minutes
going
from my
toward New
house.
York City.
Yeah, Giordano's. I was so thrilled. I heard so many things about Giordano's. I was freaking just ecstatic.
It was good.
You know, and it's funny because I got it and I was walking through the hall back to my room with this heavy ass box. When they handed me the box, I thought there was like a brick in the freaking box, and it was just
Yeah,
amazing.
it was like when you pick up the box, it's like heavy.
Yeah. And I was walking by down the hallway and I ran into Lord because she was leaving a room. And I'm like, Lord, have you ever had a Giordano's pizza? Can you feel how heavy this thing is? And it was a pizza, guys, I promise.
That's a weird pickup line.
Yeah, absolutely.
Right.
But
That sounds like the beginning of a very bad porno movie.
that pizza was 3 meals for me.
Did you
order?
I mean, I only had one piece of pizza, and it was very filling. Like, oh my word!
Did you have whale sperm on it?
That's what she said.
I got down on a cake shake while I was there, though.
Oh yes, cake shake. I've heard about those. Didn't have one. Are they all that?
I got one of those.
Okay.
Your wife covered Frank in a cake shake.
Oh, wow.
Wouldn't it be the other way around? But
No, she didn't. Carl was there.
Yeah.
But
Is it Mira? Is this segment taking way too long?
Yeah, I feel like
That's why I said the thing about the
I mean, we're
backhoe.
sitting here, we're paying $29.95 to watch people fill a hole. That's what she said.
I mean, this was in your house.
I would pay $29.95 for that, just not this kind of deal.
When I was a kid, I got this for free too.
All right, fuck off.
Yeah, you had that special black box though.
It wasn't even a box.
Remember the metal cylinder that you could also twist in the back? That was like a little filter for certain channels.
I actually did. I told the story a couple times. I was bored one day in my room, and I saw this coax cable that had been there forever. And I don't know why I never thought about it before, but I just decided to randomly screw it in the back of my television just to see what it did. And I had every channel and all the unlocked pay-per-views. I watched every WWE and WCW pay-per-view from 96 to 2001.
That's amazing.
Yep.
I had the DirecTV card, and I knew a guy that worked for Data Card that would program the chip for me all the time.
Yeah,
that's what I used to do. I used to program those chips.
Yeah, I paid him for it too.
I just used to eat the chips. What are we talking about?
There's the hand.
The show was over for me.
Looks like he was under the area under the tombstone.
Yes, there he is.
Yep, that's exactly what happened. He's behind the damn thing.
Yeah.
I mean, honestly, guys.
Actually, spoiler, he's really dead. He comes back to life at Survivor Series.
This is a pretty good show. I honestly. So as it comes to an end, we're going to come to an end as well in a few minutes here. So let's just whip around the room real quick, and we'll start with our special guest, Pauly B. Your thoughts on Buried Alive in Your House, 1996?
You know what? Fun show, but I had even more fun hanging out with you guys. So this was a good time hanging out with the Top Guy Theater, and we got to have a little bit of fun. But no, cool show, fun memories. It's fun to look back and see some of the matches. Is it, like somebody said, it's been 20 some years since you saw that. Same thing for me too. But I appreciate you guys having me on. A lot of fun.
Kolb, your thoughts, man?
I'm going to mimic what Pauly B said. We're just glad to hang out with the cast and crew of Top Guy Theater and the top-notch research staff you guys have behind the scenes that I had to work with as well. The crack staff. Thank you, Pauly B.
Can I be deep?
And as Frank has learned, any chance I get to ride Frank's coattails anywhere, I'm happy to do that.
Okay.
Thanks for having me. But you know what? I was a big fan of this back in the day. First time in 25 years I've watched it as well. Good shit.
And Coelho, your thoughts?
Every time I've been able to be fortunate enough to be on Top Guy Theater, I get to watch a show that I hadn't watched in like 20, 25 years. So it was cool to watch this show back all the way and see some of the nuances of like Stone Cold versus Triple H. That match was interesting. But yeah, it was fun. Thanks for having me.
Of course. Antonio, thoughts?
2 words.
Sonny and Sable.
Well, a word, so you only get one more.
Lauren's girls.
Oh my.
No. Lauren. What's another
The moment's
word?
past. The moment's past, Henry. Too. All right. Brandy, thoughts?
Some of the matches weren't the best, but I mean, anything with The Undertaker, especially in this era, great stuff. I wasn't a fan of the Jim Ross storyline, but you know,
I'm with you.
it was great to go back to and to see Shawn Michaels with the hair and
just a sexy boy.
It was
before
good
he lost his hair and went cross-eyed.
He looks like George Carlin nowadays.
Yeah.
I know. It's scary.
How the mighty have fallen.
Henry?
I will say before I give my opinion on the show, I had to manually search for In Your House on Peacock because I couldn't find it on the WWE network on my Roku TV. And one of the things that came up, and I held it in for the entire show, when I searched In Your House, I went in and then why. And one of the show selections I get was a show I've never heard of. It's got to be from Japan. And it made me think of Antonio. It's called, Is It Wrong to Try to Pick Up Girls in a Dungeon? But overall, I enjoyed In Your House, Buried Alive. I expected a different guest, so I picked this for a kind of a different vibe theme. But
good, man.
given that it's Halloween, I really enjoyed this show. I feel like it fits, and it was a pleasure to finally be able to work with you, Mr. Bromwell.
Oh, thank you, Henry.
Well, I mean, for real, Frank, instead of the Lauren's girls comment, the show was good, but this was way better hanging out with everybody.
Of course, that's what this is all about. We're hanging out, chilling, maxing,
That's
relaxing.
what it's all about.
Shooting some b-ball outside of the pool with a couple of guys whipping the good. Anyway,
making trouble in the neighborhood.
You're living with your auntie and uncle in Bel Air. All right, so Philly J, what do we think?
So, by the way, originally we were supposed to have Barat on this evening, and he had to cancel last minute. So thank you for coming in and subbing for Barat, Pauly, and Lauren. I don't know if you're going to watch the show. Probably not, but thank you for showing up. I never echo sentiments from Mike and James. I never watch any show that we do, ever. I might pull up a Wikipedia just to see the match card, and I'll kind of get a brief memory of, oh, yes, I remember this or this or this. But I want to come in this as fresh as possible so I can re-experience as much of it as I can. Be that as it may, this particular episode of Top Guy Theater, I barely watched it because I was having so much fun talking to the rest of you guys.
Yeah, absolutely. My final thoughts, nostalgia. It's bro-stalgia. As always, Pauly, I appreciate you being here. James, I appreciate you being here. Mike, appreciate you being here. Lauren, we loved you while you were here. We hate to see you leave, but love to watch you go. Right? Wait, is that how it works? I don't remember.
We hate to see them go, but love to watch them leave,
Love
Frank.
to watch them leave.
Whatever, whatever.
Hey,
So
I like to watch them bounce.
before I play the ending credits,
Randy, how do you deal with this?
Oh, Brandy. Oh, that's right. Brandy. The next episode of In Your House has popped out in its Flash Funk and Funk That's doing their thing in here. So thank you again. And I just want to show everybody what we're doing next week real quick.
We gonna do this or what? Oh, will you shut up and let me talk for a second? What I've been doing is frankly not enough. It's not enough, no. My goal is to exterminate. You're gonna think of me. Forever.
15 WrestleManias.
A leg drop, an elbow smash, a body slam.
Are you ready to fight? Who will survive?
He's got him! Goodbye. Later. Out.